What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer slash seducer, Nick Scarpino.
It's been a great day. I got no complaints. I'm having a great time.
That didn't work out the way I was thinking it was gonna.
We're gonna talk it. We're gonna talk it to death throughout this stream. It is our 6th anniversary. This is the end of our 12-hour stream on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. And Nick Scarpino just came off of a Cheeto finger high right out there in the war zone, clicking some heads. You've been going nonstop. You're high octane. 6 p.m. now. It's 8:30. That's 2.5 hours. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. First off, we had a solid game in there. I think it was our second game that we played, Andy. I got 4 kills, which was great. Feel like I would have gotten a 5th if I had that $7,000 PC. No big deal. Tim, looking at you.
Yeah.
Snowbike Mike blowing it away as the leader of our squad there, just calling out to the point where Kevin Coelho, it was just silent watching the entire time, killing it with the multi-screen, cutting back and forth. Very, very excited to play again tomorrow with the boys.
What I want to tell you, of course, Nick, is that I think you are the comedian of a generation. And like so many of the comedians of a generation, I don't feel like you get your just due in your time. It's one of those, you're going to be gone, you'll be retired, we'll miss you. We'll talk about stories then, you know what I mean? When you pass away in a couple of years.
I knew it was coming. I knew the couple of years
was it's like when I was like, when we talk about it, we'll be dead too, but it doesn't matter. You know, for this, no. What I wanted is, you did not get enough credit for the joke about the gulag. When you called it the new log. When they were talking about the changes to the gulag, and you were like, the new log. That's gold.
He didn't think it was a good joke, and I was like, "No, Nick, like I'm there with you, dude. That's
Of course, there with him was the Hispanic heartthrob, Texas treat, Latino heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds. The globe-trotting, head-shotting, nitro rifle from Twitch.tv, Andy Cortez.
What a day. I mean, what a day. So many great games back to back to back. My back is already going to hurt just from sitting down in this like awful position. I always do like y'all ever sit like this with your legs up in the chair?
No.
Oh yeah.
You know, really?
No, I can't do it. I don't have that flexibility.
It's hard for me to do it because like really tall people have trouble sitting like this in chairs, but I find a way. But my back is always just going to be ruined at night. I'm going to complain tomorrow. It's gonna be a whole thing, guys.
Andy, maybe as part of our, it all out in the field, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as part of our streaming sessions, maybe we should start and end with a good stretch. Like we'll just make it like everyone can watch out there too. It'll be a thing. We'll do like a stretching regimen for 5 minutes and then get down there and play for a couple hours.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
I like it.
Rounding out the courts, he's Forbes 30 under 30, aka the second best baby blues in San Francisco, aka the engaged one at Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host. I'm so proud of you guys today, man. Of all of us, not just us here, but everyone doing some stuff. It's been fantastic. And he's been here almost the entire day on stream, doing some stuff. Nick Scarpino coming out of nowhere, playing video games, being fucking awesome, having a good time. I love this new revitalized energy. Of course, we got Greg Miller, the best in the biz when it comes to creating the hype when all the rigmarole. You're the god of the rigmarole is what I'll give you. Right, you're so good at that stuff. But like, also a day full of pop-ins from Joey Noel, blessing Adeoye Jr. We got Kevin running the boards technically amazingly the entire day.
Kevin Barrett is the MVP as always.
Oh, as always, right? But real talk today, more than ever, I think Kevin deserves the shout out. Like what he did today was so awesome, and I love that this was unfortunately and in kind of funny fashion the test bed for everything that
we just hadn't tried it live
for the year. Yeah, it's like, hey, we're announcing we're going to be Twitch streaming every day for hours a day.
Do we 100% have it down?
Figure out VMEX the day before we go live with what
I had a lot of help. I had a lot of help. Thank you guys.
Yeah, of course. We've been working on it, but it's been awesome. Joey doing all the Patreon stuff.
Joey killing it as well, in updating the Patreon stuff left and right. I cut you off on Barrett. Barrett, of course, helping yesterday run PS I Love You, so we could have that done. Getting out there today, doing a bunch of different streams, playing games.
I mean, Barrett even just doing so many things that
social.
Talk about much. Obviously, he does this social stuff. Everyone knows that that is what we kind of hired him for. But he's been doing so many more behind the scenes things. He's been uploading things to Rooster Teeth that takes way more time than you'd expect. He's been just kind of working on all this stuff. We have in the thermometer as well. I'm just so proud of the team. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. We have. I was saying Joey doing all of the Patreon stuff, making sure today she's updating us with all of the numbers. Which again, so many spreadsheets, so many numbers to add up and calculate and all that. Cool Greg uploading everything, making sure it's on editing of the podcast and all of our core content, and our new people, of course, Roger Percorny, big news, if anybody didn't watch our streams, we hired 2 new full-time employees, Roger Picorni and Snowbike Mike. Roger will be doing a bunch of short form content for us, editing wise, and also just assisting with a lot of social video edits and all of that. Snowbike Mike will be hosting 5 days a week Twitch streams. I'm sure we're going to be talking about that a lot more, but they've been killing it. I love getting this new energy. I feel like every year when we bring someone new on, and I hope that we can continue doing that. Not necessarily we always will, but it always motivates me, and I feel like it motivates all of us now that we've all been here for so long, including you, Andy, which is crazy to talk about, right? Like, this is your what, 4th year?
Yeah, it'll be 4th in the at the end of March. Yeah, beginning of April.
Yeah,
insane.
Yeah, and of course, shout out to we didn't see any of them on the stream today, I think because of conflicts. But Paris Lilly, who's on now, is a permanent 3rd chair on XCast. We want to make sure we give a shout out there, and like obviously we're doing so much stuff with the Patreon fan art, or not Patreon fan art. That's a bad way to say it. The Platinum perk, where we're doing the fan physical item. We've partnered up with Rain from the community. Rain did for the first one a John Wick inspired Kevin Wick poster. That'll be the physical reward. Obviously, on the thermometer right now, we've raised enough money for Josh Strickland to do his Kind of Funnies, right? The comic strips about Kind of Funny, and like awesome stuff. There's a whole bunch of amazing things. Like you said, if you haven't been keeping up, well, you see it hopefully on the page. If you're an audio listener, you don't see it. You can check out the announcement videos from YouTube and all the stuff we're doing there. But yeah, big stuff. All the hires we just talked about. Twitch streaming every day for at least 2 hours after games daily. An extra Kind of Funny podcast. That's news. Obviously, I guess that, hey, this is your first Kind of Funny podcast of the week. After this, we're doing one Kind of Funny podcast that is the normal 4 of us as always. And then the second one is taking the place basically of We Have Cool Friends, where it's the it'll probably be the 4 of us, then with a guest every time. The guest being the thing, that we're actually committing to, because the guest could be somebody else from Kind of Funny. It most likely will be somebody from the outside. I was talking to Mike Drucker today. He wants to come through and do some stuff soon. I want to get him in here. There's this kid who streams and does stuff named Carl. Works at a Mr. Beast. Claims he came to a San Francisco meet and greet, but I don't remember him. I think he might be on very soon for that too. So we got a bunch of stuff going on there. The Kind of Funny Spotlight program over on Games. Janet Garcia being the first person to come through on Friday for Games. So much stuff announced today. But before we get to any of that, this is the Kind of Funny podcast.
Real quick, before we get to that, I have to say this now. Because Joey just slacked me, and I need to make sure I get this out after everything I just said. But 2 things I want to say. 1, happy 2-year anniversary to Barrett Courtney.
Oh, yeah,
Kind of Funny. Woo! That's insane. And more than that, I forgot
happy
to even
1 year
mention,
to Blessing.
And I can't believe it, but happy 1 year to Blessing, and Blessing, another person that killed this year in a way that I never even thought imaginable. I can't believe all the things that he's done with us, and I can't wait to see what he continues to do with the Blessing Show, which is a new product that is in a pilot program right now that you'll be able to see starting next week on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, or starting right now for the silver members on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. But Blessing has been obviously amazing. I can't speak his praises enough, but he was the one person I didn't mention, and I feel really bad about that. But I love you, Bless, so much.
I mean, he's in the room and he's just pissed. He's seething. He's muted. He doesn't want to even talk to you or acknowledge you.
No, he can care less.
Whatever he's doing over there. He was great we did a Bloodborne. Started that today. You know what I mean? PS, I love you all about Bloodborne today. It's good. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Yeah, we're going to be doing that on the stream. But Imran Khan, another obviously Kind of Funny part-timer, swung in and was helping me there. Then Timur Hussein from GameSpot came in. I got a lot of people in my corner to do this. Andy was there, of course. Don't forget. #1 Bloodborne kid in the world.
Yeah.
Andy, I want to start talking about you. You're going to be the first topic. But before we get there, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, usually four best friends gather around these microphones to talk to you about the bullshit they want to talk to you about. You like that because you're amazing people and we're all best friends. So you go to patreon.com/kindoffunny and you support us there. Of course, on patreon.com/kindoffunny through the month of January, every dollar raised goes into that thermometer down there, making us do new shows, cool shows, different things. And of course, supporting all the crazy stuff we just talked about as we set off on our 2021 journey. As you all know, we could not do this without you. We can't thank you enough for your support. Each and every January on Kind of Funny Day, you come out in thousands to support us in ways we never thought imaginable. We hope we make you proud. We hope we make the best content we can for you. The fact that you keep coming back says we do, and we appreciate that. Of course, on patreon.com/kindoffunny, you can get every episode of the Kind of Funny podcast early. You can watch it live as we record it. You can write in with your own topics. You can get it with the post show we usually do. If you'll forgive us tonight, it is the end of a 12-hour day. I think the pre-show can act as the post-show, the 10 hours of content we did. And if you have no bucks tossed away, though, you can go to youtube.com/kindoffunny podcast services around the globe each and every week to get a brand spanking new episode. And guess what? I have to change the intro yet again because now you're getting 2 episodes a week. So strap in. Lots of Kind of Funny podcasts for you. Housekeeping for you. Thank you to our Patreon producers who went to patreon.com/kindoffunny in the month of December to help us out. Kieran O'Donnell, Steve Powers, Julian the Gluten-Free Gamer, Alexander Knoxell, and then Bill I.M. Today we're brought to you by Green Chef and Gabby. But before, I'll tell you about that. Or I'll tell you about that later. I'm very tired. But I'll tell you about that later. But for now, let's start with other stuff. Andy?
What's up, Greg?
It's time me and Nick got into something that is probably the greatest thing that never happened.
Okay.
Jacob Meyer, a.k.a. Wakayam, writes in to Patreon.
YKM.
Wakayam. All right. You say it the way I say it. Wakayam.
You got me.
That's
Good.
I didn't even try to say it. I said it.
What did Kayam
Writes
say?
in to Patreon.com. What?
I said, what did Kayam say?
What are you freaking out about? What are you doing? Calm down. This dog wound up late at night. Wakayam says, don't say anything in front of you know who, but are we going to get to see that awesome prank on Andy this year? Nick, we had talked about this forever.
What a missed opportunity. What a huge...
How would we have known? How would we have known the world was about to go straight down the shitter and never come back to a world where we could do this prank? And
How do you know I didn't cause it? Like, just in defense.
Shit, just to get out of it. Fuck that. I didn't even think about that.
I'd
never done that. So I think for literal years at this point, me and Nick have been holding it over Andy's head that we had the prank of the century to play on him, and then we'd start giggling about it and laughing about it, and then start to say too much and have to stop and pull out of it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's time we just talk about it, because we're never gonna be able to do it. Like
the thing is this: we could talk about it, and then I guarantee enough time will go by that he'll forget about it, and then we'll be able to do it to him again. Then it'll be even better because he'll be like, "Damn it."
Yeah, once the realization happens that it's happening. Yeah.
Also, it's not. Also, if I remember correctly, we were going to do it to either Andy or Joey, and so that was.
We decided on Andy though, because I think this was after maybe the first time you broke her in Mario Party, where we're just like, "Don't do it. We can't do this to Joey."
Oh yeah, I was a little bit
sure it wasn't
you and
after...
me. There was a moment where I pulled. I think it was Tim aside, and I was like, "Hey, Joey might knife me. There's a possibility she might come up and just stab me right in the kidney. If she does, call the cops. I have blood at the hospital. They'll do a transfusion. Don't call the cops on her though, because I deserve it." So
are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't when Greg scared her too many times at the airport and she started slapping him?
Listen, I held responsible for my innate physical response when
that is like we're talking about how we lost the greatest prank of all time. You want to talk about one of the greatest videos I ever lost? It was what the Toronto airport, the Vancouver airport, where we were walking through the they have basically a museum section in the terminal. We were walking through it, and I snuck up behind Joey to scare her, and I went, "Pah!" And she slapped my hand so hard I dropped my phone and lost the recording. And I was like, I deserved that, but fuck, that was such a good one. I got you so good on that one. It's Andy working with us.
Andy, I want you to know I don't know what this prank is.
The prank, Tim.
I am debatably more worried than you are.
No. Tim, you're gonna hear this, and you're gonna be so mad that we didn't do this and didn't film it while it was happening.
Well, which would have been impossible. We would have been in a lot of trouble.
We could have figured it out. We could have figured out a way to film from a different row.
This is only getting worse.
No, because here's the thing. I want everyone to know before we reveal what was going to happen. You might hear this, ladies and gentlemen, and you might say, "Oh, that's stupid." I guarantee you, there's going to be so many people out there going to be like, "Oh, I wish somebody would do that to me." I understand that.
You don't understand the volume.
You need to understand who Andy Cortez is, and that Nick and I have studied him and understand how uncomfortable he gets in certain societal interactions. Andy, is that fair?
That's pretty damn fair. Yeah. When I'm talking about me and Tim always bring up how uncomfortable we get whenever. Oh, I know what the prank is.
What is it?
I was just when Nick said, "Ro, were you all gonna chew out somebody in front of me or something?"
No.
So here's what I want you to imagine, Andy.
Okay.
God.
Wait, Andy, you thought that was the best prank they could put together?
I mean, that's fair. That'd be a good prank.
Yeah,
I mean, they
well,
said it's dumb and that I get uncomfortable. So I would imagine that like, oh, maybe they're gonna like get mad at somebody in front of me. I'm gonna be like, oh God, I have to like. Sucks.
Andy, it's it's 2020. Everything's gone according to plan. Nothing's gone wrong. Right.
Right.
We all knock off work 5 o'clock. We rush over to the AMC theater. We rush up to our seats. We settle in for Fast and the Furious. That would have come out last year, right, Tim? If that would have been normal.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Thank you. We settle in for Fast and the Furious 9. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we settle in. The lights go down. The trailers go. And the girl's drinking her giant Coke. A bunch of trailers that we've already seen online happen. The movie starts up. All right. You're excited. You're learning all the plot points, everything else, right?
You're thinking to yourself, Andy. You're thinking to yourself, God, I wish I had some snacks. You know what I mean? I wish I had
15 minutes. 15 minutes go by. 15 minutes.
Why wouldn't I have snacks?
Oh, you already do. You
have
have your hot dog. You have your candy, your
Mm-hmm.
mini Snickers.
But
You have all the food.
You're thinking maybe I could have more snacks.
No, that's the thing is he's not thinking this. He's not thinking this, right? He's sitting there. He's enjoying. You're finally, you do that thing where you lose the theater. You're in the film. You're in the motion picture, right?
Okay.
And so all of a sudden you just see like here comes one of the theater employees with a bunch of food, a popcorn and a hot dog.
Now, for context, they still do. This is assuming they still do this, right? But if you guys remember,
2020, they did this. They did this. Shush, they did this.
You have to tell people what because it was like
we'll tell them in a second. We'll tell them in a second.
Go. I apologize. Reset your mind.
Theater employee comes down. He's got his popcorn. He's got his hot dog, and he starts going seat by seat. And clearly, he's going to pass you by, but he doesn't pass you by, Andy. He says, "Here's your food, sir," and hands you this food. I'm betting dollars to donuts. Your first reaction is gonna be like, "No, I didn't order this." and he's gonna be like, "Oh," he checks the tab. He's like, "Ah, it says row A9 or whatever. This is your food," and he shows it. You're totally pulled out of the movie. You're creating commotion around you. This guy's trying to give you food, right? And you're like, "What? I don't." And you just take it begrudgingly.
I'm flustered. Yeah, I'm flustered. Yeah,
you take it begrudgingly and sit down. All right. You have all this extra food. You wait for a while. No one's coming for it. No one's here to get this food from you. Whatever, free food. You start digging in and enjoy it a bit, right? 15 minutes later. Theater employee guy comes back with another tray of food and gives you the food. And at this point, you're like, at this point, me and Nick are losing it, I'm sure. So you realize what's happening. Like, fine, you take it. You turn. That's a good one, right?
Funny. Don't do it again.
15 minutes later. We were going to do this the entire film.
As long as we possibly could. For as long, because I think there was a cutoff period where
you
could
you could do it
like 30 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. Because Nick and I had found, I forget what movie we had to go see on our own.
It was
we were there.
It was the one that where Jen brought cookies in. And we didn't like it.
It was so
good.
But we were there. We saw the flyer for it of like you can order ahead of time from your seat through the AMC app. And I was like, oh my God, Nick, who are we just going to randomly send food to? And again, it came down to you or Joey, but we didn't want to be punched again. So we put you in there.
I'll say this. I would not have, after the second time, been like, all right, good, funny joke, guys. I would have just like taken it and not know what to do with it. I would have like not assumed it was a prank or anything like that.
But again, you would have had us giggling.
You would have known it was us.
Oh, okay.
Laughing and stuff, and then Nick filming.
Well, because here's the thing: we often sit apart. When we would try to go to these, high in demand movies, and there's 2 seats here, 1 seat here, 1 seat here. Like I was used to just always sitting alone for the last like 4 movies we saw. I'm thinking of like Sonic the Hedgehog and the Terminator more recent one. I'm like sitting alone over here and I'm over there and I'm in the back and Joey's up there and Greg's down there. So I would not have known it was coming from you all.
So there was a moment though where I think there was a time when like Joey and Kevin were seeing a lot of movies. And
Movie Bros they were called.
Yeah, the Movie Bros. And there was a moment where I was like, we've got to figure out what seat Joey's sitting in and then just shock and awe her with candy. Just an overwhelming amount of bags of cake, like to the point where the theater, like the guy that's delivering it, just thinks
something's wrong.
There's been a mistake.
Yeah,
I'm like, how much?
I would
it's
love
one of those
that.
moments where I'm like, how much money can I spend before Tim does the head shake? Like, it's not worth it. $500 worth of candy? Would that be too much candy? Like, how many of those little bags? To the point where, like, I just had this vision of Andy covered in snacks, like a mound of snacks all around him, and people around him.
That's the other thing. Yeah, he'd start panicking. he would start panicking on where is he going to put it, and then and he's not.
I'm encroaching on this guy's space and this woman right here. Like, it's tough. Yeah.
Oh my god, I loved it. Like, I can't believe that was the plan.
It was a good plan.
It would have been great.
Like, that's actually really
it's a good plan.
fucking
That's a
good.
good plan.
There was one time, to Nick's point, the cutoff, but I think the cutoff was how early you could order it. Because I remember there was when the lights were going down on something else when we were like, oh, maybe we should just do it tonight. We tried to do it and it was too late. It wasn't Andy even. It was somebody else.
I love that as y'all are talking about this plan, how you all memorize, like, there's a 30-minute cutoff and you know the inside.
We did the work.
This is like Ocean's 11 fucking heist planning and shit.
I hadn't even gone so far as because, for a while when this was happening and I wasn't either on the interviews or sometimes I would just be stubborn and go see it at Alamo. I was thinking it would be even better that if neither of us were there, I was just watching the Slack and you guys are like, I got A8, I got A9. Just fucking Andy gets bean bag with food the entire movie. Nobody knows why. Beautiful.
That's a good one. I'm glad y'all shared that because I thought it would have been way worse than that, but I like truly and honestly, if I were in that situation, it would be immensely uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't know how to react.
Knowing, and then the hushed conversation, and then that guy being like, "Listen, dude, you ordered it. I don't know. It's paid for. Like, just take it. I don't know."
Yeah. I would just be like casually like, here's what I would be. I would be so self-conscious about what the people next to me thought. Because it would be random people, and my number, like the thing I'm always worried about in life is what are people thinking of me right now? Like if I get a weird haircut. And I walk out in public, I think everybody's like, "Oh, Andy's hair's changed." Like they don't know how my hair used to look. It's just I'm just a dude in a haircut. But I think that they know that I hate my hair, And so I would be thinking the whole time, "Oh man, they think I'm fucking weird. Like something's off. These guys are just judging me. Oh god, I'm cringing thinking about it, dude."
That's how we would have gotten you. Yeah. But you would have also gotten a lot of free food, so that would have been going. You know what I mean?
And this is the thing too, is like it's not just a one and done kind of joke. Now you'd be worried. So the first time you're like, there's no way they're going to do it again. After the second time we did it to you, and not the second session in that same movie, after a month goes by, you decide to go see John Wick 3, right? Yeah. You're with me. And then all of a sudden you see the guy come in. Then you start getting worried. You're like, is this guy
PTSD? To me? Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then after it happens a second time, then you're really about like not letting us know when you're seeing a movie. That's when we got to get Barrett to sneak in and make sure we know which seat you're sitting in, and then the third time you're like, you're not seeing movies ever again.
No, then the fourth time is me and Nick get AMC uniforms, and you're screaming one day. We come in like, we got your popcorn and
this is like a long con.
I propose a new long con though, because obviously this is now wasted on Andy. But like, I have an idea that I think could go over extremely poorly. Okay,
great. That's exactly the kind of content we make.
Yeah, I'm gonna pitch it to you. So here's the deal. Obviously, we need to wait till we're back in a world where we can go to theaters and everything. I am hoping that by the time Sonic the Hedgehog 2 comes to theaters, we'll be able to go see it in theaters. Now, with that, there's only one person in the world that I know wants to see that movie more than anybody. And it's Gary Whitta.
Oh, Gary Whitta.
And I know for a fact that the chat right now and the comments will be cool.
If we can. Yep. I was going to say, give a huge shout out to you, Kind of Funny podcast audience. You did not ruin the Milk Mommy Oreos coming to Gary. He got them and did not know what they were. You did a great job. We, of course, live streaming on Twitch right now because it's Kind of Funny Day. We're raising money, yada, yada, yada. So Twitch chat, you have to prove you're as cool as Kind of Funny podcast chat, which means keep your yaps shut. Don't tweet at Gary. Don't go in his chat and be like, "Oh, hope you're excited for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Get out of here, Yogi Bear. Nobody wants you."
No, but you also have to keep in mind that like people in the YouTube comments, like that video came out to all 18K or whoever watched it. So those people were cool too, which is really, really impressive because we, 18K, we have like 3K here or whatever. Like everybody just be cool. We cannot spoil this secret.
All right. So what are we doing again?
So I mean the exact same plan.
In Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
But just to Gary. But I feel like no one I can think of that will take it worse than Gary.
No, but the problem is
but I mean that though. I mean that in the way that like I know people would take it worse. Like Andy, you'd take it real bad. Nick would take it real bad. Cool Greg would take it real bad.
Angry.
Gary. Yeah, but like Nick angry versus Gary angry is very different in this.
No, I could see
you would
Gary...
be uncomfortable. Nick or Gary would jump so quickly to fuck this, fuck you, Greg Miller. Like he would know, and he would blame Greg. So Nick and Andy and Kev, we're all in this call right and chat.
See,
and everyone read the comments. We can
it's a
pin this on
razor's
Greg.
edge, man. It's a razor's edge where it either ends with Gary just mad at us or it ends with Gary banned from AMC Cinema. Because Gary's not going to take it lying down. Eventually he's going to oh, fuck off. You're ruining the film. You know what I mean? Like he's going to be pissed that they're ruining his daughter's crying next to him. He's pushing this guy out and Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
The real question is, have you guys seen the movie Tag? Starring John Hamm and all those guys, right?
Yeah, it's so good.
Jeremy
Great
Renner
film. Right. The film starts out with I forget the guy's name. The guy from not Jeremy Renner, the guy from the
Ed Helms.
Hangover. Ed Helms. Getting a job at his buddy's company just so he can tag him, right? As a janitor.
Yeah.
How do we get me a job at AMC theaters, wherever Andy's going to be, so that I can be the last guy that delivers the food to him, and it just be like 18 popcorns, and I just bury him in the popcorn? That's the big question.
Nick, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I know you're saying that as a joke, and it is a funny joke.
It's hilarious.
But like, out of all of us, you were the last. Like this, I just presented this. I just brought Gary into this. I understand this is my responsibility. Yeah. But I would not allow you to be the last person.
Not with Gary.
Yeah, no. I feel like Gary might kill you.
No, Gary would definitely, because Gary doesn't, he would knife me probably, or just stuff some sort of candy down my throat till I choke. Yeah. But Andy, I feel like, would do the thing where Andy kind of like, he does the thing where he kind of closes his eyes for a second, and it's 90% I hate Nick, but like 10% respect. Like, okay, this is a good one. Yeah. This is a good joke. That's what I would want to see.
Andy, what's the 10%?
It's I don't know, shame, like embarrassment. I don't know.
There's a 1%. There's 1% though that of you that thinks if this wasn't happening to me, I would be laughing with Nick.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but I would still be saying I hate you, even though it wasn't happening to me. Yeah.
I would hate. To be fair, I would hate myself. This is not stuff that I would be proud of. This is stuff that I would immediately be like, because you know me, this has an 85% chance of like me going to jail. I don't want that heat. I just, you have to have it. You got to need it after once.
Got to get in the kitchen. Yeah,
you got to get in the kitchen. I don't know.
I love that. That's fantastic.
All right.
It would have been
Serious
great.
Black 13 in chat just said, Tim, just imagine if Fran delivered the candy, you orders pay for whatever. This is all about Fran.
No, this is Tim. You nailed it. Oh my God. If you did this to Fran, it would cause somehow a power outage. I don't know why, but I just think the whole theater blacks out for some reason.
Now, hold on a second.
Fran would ask so many questions to this guy that it would go through a whole cycle where people would get angry and then sad and then just leave. They would just leave the theater.
There would be new employees and then employees that got laid off and that were just getting hired to talk to Fran about this issue in the whole time that it took.
You don't think Fran would leave? I feel like Fran would leave very early on.
No,
he'd get up and be like,
Fran wouldn't leave.
Fran would want to get to the bottom of it.
He needs to know the answer.
Now, here's the whole thing, though. Hold on a second. Again, chat be cool. YouTube comments be cool. Everybody be cool. One of Fran's fans, who I assume is a Kind of Funny best friend, sent the Kind of Funny PO box, a box of crisps and cookies and whatever, I think from Canada for Fran. And I went and picked up the PO box stuff. So I have a big box to deliver to Fran at some point. I feel like there's something there we can work with, where we already have the Trojan horse of what we're supposed to give Fran.
You want to put the like spring snakes in there?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna go back there and hold it up, not so you can see.
Wait,
I get the address of the PO box. Who cares?
Okay, before you do that, two questions, Greg. How big a box, and how long do you think you can hold Kevin in your hands, in your arms?
Oh no, it's not that big enough. It's not that big enough.
I get real small, Greg. Real small.
Yeah, Kevin can definitely contract himself. That's one of his talents. I've seen him do it.
Like a snake with no.
I've known him like Samus. No, it's not.
What? I have flexibility, Tim. You're the one that doesn't have flexibility.
No, you're correct. There. I am not flexible. You're very flexible, but you don't get small.
I wonder if they sent any banana nut muffins in that box that Greg just showed off.
Oh my God.
We could get a bigger box and put it in.
Yeah, here's the thing. He doesn't know how
let's start going.
Boxes.
Fran, hold on. We'll do a dramatic reading of the text I sent Fran when I got this box, because I was like, "Are you expecting this?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I meant to tell Tim." So I was like, "Okay, well, thanks for telling none of us." But like, Fran's exact thing here, right, was was like, I said, I went to be a box. You got a big box of candy. Yeah, I was asking Tim about that. I need to come pick it up. It's a fan of mine / kind of funny. It's been dying to get me something. Blah, blah. So he doesn't know how big the box is. So right now the prank can immediately become, we find a refrigerator sized box.
Oh my God.
We find and we put it inside of that, and then Kevin, if you still have a truck, right, Kev?
Yeah.
Kev comes over, we put it in the back of the truck, we drive it over there, and we're like, here it is. And Fran's like, what? Who? You know what I mean?
Hey, real quick, nanobiologist right now is saying that Fran is still in the chat, but I want everyone to know right now that on one hand, I don't believe him. On the other hand, somehow that just makes this more fun.
No, it makes it better.
Now, here's the thing. I say we go the other way with the prank. I say we find out whatever the treats that he's getting and buy a lot more of them and give him a refrigerator-sized box full of the actual snacks.
I don't want to spend that much money.
I want to say this though, or we eat his snacks and the box never came.
Now, see, that's a great prank we did. One of my roommates in college.
In quotes.
Where he got a care package from his mom, and we got drunk and opened it from the bottom. He was on vacation or something. We opened it with a box cutter from the bottom, and inside was all this candy and popcorn and stuff, and we ate it all. And then we went in the cupboards to find something that I didn't want, and I had a stovetop bakes from like whatever, where it was disgusting.
Oh God,
I don't know why I bought it.
Tier subs.
But it was literally just buy like chicken and then mix. It was like Hamburger Helper, but not Hamburger Helper. And so we just put it in that box and then resealed it and left it. And then he opened it up. And I remember, I'll never forget, he opened the box and just goes, "Huh, thanks, Mom." And then literally 2 years later, we told him about it. Oh, so you say we get 100 subs? Is that what just happened?
Jay Zuck just
There was
gifted
a
100.
lot that just happened. First off, Greg, you're an asshole. Second off, Jay Zuck, thank you so much for
Jay
the tier
Zuck,
1
insane.
subs. Crazy.
What I would like to do, what I'm proposing is, I love the idea of this big refrigerator box.
Sure.
And I'm thinking of like, I'm thinking, because I feel like Gary would be the one more frustrated with it. And obviously, I think it would be funny to do to Fran because he'd have a lot of questions, right?
Sure.
But I think Gary would be the one that gets more enraged. And I'm thinking like, we find as many boxes as we could do like Russian doll type shit, where it's just gigantic refrigerator box and then like a smaller refrigerator box and then like a cooler box. And like we make it insane to where it's like fucking, 50 layers deep, something wild like that. I would love to engineer something like that.
Okay. Now, here's my thing. I love that idea. I want to take it a step further, though. I know Fran very fucking well. He always has questions. He always wants to be better and wants to have the answer to whatever it is and rarely does. And that's the thing for this. I like what you just said. Russian dolls, big box, a bunch of smaller boxes. But I don't want him to open the big box, open a second box, even open a third box and be like, I see what's happening. I want to fuck with him even more than that. The moment he thinks he knows what's going on, I want a change up. I want there to be a fucking M. Night Shyamalan twist going on. I don't know exactly what that could be. Maybe we just dramatically shift the sizes of the boxes so he never quite knows like what's going to happen.
Well, if like once you shift it down, though, it's kind of over.
Yeah, a couple things you can do. One, you reverse how the boxes open. So right, the top of the box opens and you just see plain side. You don't see the actual top that you would open. So you have to take that out of the box and flip it around. You could do that. 2, layer of thumbtacks in between all the boxes. So every time he reaches in, he stabs his hands.
Wow, it's dangerous.
We're just spitballing.
Nick, what if you put that idea? What if you put peanuts, packing peanuts? So you've got a big box
or real peanuts
with a slightly smaller box with a bunch of packing peanuts that is flipped the other way. So yeah, now you have to pull it out and flip it. Suddenly, peanuts everywhere.
Here's what I will say though about Fran. And Fran, I think would agree. I think Fran would agree with this, is that we can't outthink how odd Fran is at doing things.
That's really true. That is really true.
If whatever we do with this box, he's not going to open it the way we want him to open. You know what I mean? Like Fran doesn't think the way we do. Like I would be like, oh, I'm going to open this box in the top. Fran will somehow think I'm going to cut a small hole in the side of this box.
He'll solve the riddle.
One of those like SWAT periscopes in to see what's going on.
See, that's where we got to get Metal Gear Solid with this, because it's box within box within box. But eventually, there was some type of like lock on a not cardboard box, but a metal box of some sort. and there are 2 key cards. One needs to be hot for a certain amount of time. One needs to be cold for a certain amount of time, right, Greg?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know. I remember this. I remember this well.
Yeah. We don't tell them that though. Just like the game didn't exactly tell us.
Let me iterate on this. I like where your head's at.
Take the reins.
We, of
Take the reins,
course, are masters of the escape room. We proved it on this very podcast.
Mhm.
What if we escalate all this and we challenge Fran to solve our escape room and we make an escape room for Fran?
We buy him a GoPro.
Yeah, he wears the GoPro on his chest like the guy we forced to do it in Minnesota, and then we get to commentate as he goes. You know,
Could we drug him and like kidnap him? Put him in the situation. Don't ask permission.
Here's what we can do. No, that's the thing. We ask ahead of time. Fran, do you sign up?
Can I tranquilize dart you?
Yeah, and we can do that.
You guys are crazy. Let's see. Ramirez Art Jam in the chat.
You're crazy.
You guys are crazy. He has a great suggestion. Just make the box, put the label on the box that says box 1 of 3. And he has some other stuff after that, but that would drive Fran insane.
Oh my god!
If you put a box
No,
1 of 3,
that
he'd be like,
fucking-
where's the other 2 boxes?
No, box 2
of 3. Yes.
No, wait.
It would
Hold on.
haunt him. It would haunt him to not know where the first and third boxes were.
Guys, I love this. Here's the deal. We got to figure this all out because we have to do this. I want whatever's in the box to actually be something valuable to Fran specifically. Because I want there to be a payoff that's not just we're fucking with him, right?
Hair
It
gel.
has to be good. But we need to combine all these ideas into one thing and like somehow make content out of it. Because I love the idea of us paying for Fran doing that escape room we did by himself, but it has to be filmed and we have to be able to use it as content. Right? Like we need to like figure out all these steps to be able to make this something fucking amazing. Nick Scarpino from Kind of Funny. What's
Here's
up?
my suggestion. Escape room. The box leads to the escape room. The escape room leads to when he finally opens the door. It's a $7,000 PC that says, please deliver this to Nick Scarpino. He has to get it all the way back to my head.
Like he would actually do that.
He would. It's Fran. He's a good guy. He would totally deliver this. He would take it to my house.
Okay. Look, I love so much about this. I think if it was that big, it might become an issue. I love the idea though, that like I want to put this. I don't even know who I want to issue this challenge to, but I love this idea of pranking Fran. And working through Fran is the only way to get Nick his $7,000 PC.
I just screwed myself.
There's a coupon. So
happened.
we need to figure this all out. That Fran has to go through this obstacle course of riddles.
Yes.
He'll fucking do it.
He'll do it.
He'll do it.
He has no choice. He has to do these. It's just part of how he thinks. He
Look,
cannot
Fran-
have a mystery in front of him without unraveling it.
Fran is the master of the Destiny raid. He knows his way around puzzles and weird concepts, and I have to shoot this thing to pop this thing up, and timing and all this stuff. So whatever challenge we throw at Fran, he is more than prepared for it. I know that he can do this.
Does Fran ever get those jackets from
Which
the
ones?
raids? You know, the Destiny raid jackets?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's good enough.
I thought this was
Fake
like
gamer. Fake gamer.
Does he get the dragons?
Nick has to go with the dork. Like Nick has to do the.
The guy who wants to buy a $7,000 PC.
I gotta get in the zone, dude. It's my job now.
Get in the fucking AutoZone.
He's counting on me, man.
Hey, what y'all do for Christmas?
Hung out, watched Wonder Woman.
Lethal Weapon and Die Hard.
Yeah.
God.
I just wanted to ask y'all that question so I could say I started The Expanse.
Ooh,
That's
good
fun.
for you.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm
What
really
season you
digging
on?
it so far. I'm still in the first season. I'm
It's
still early
dense,
on.
dude.
I am still in the era where it was on Sci-Fi Channel, and you could tell because the CGI not great
Yeah, not
in a lot of
great.
moments.
Yeah.
But then Amazon picks it up, and I think the budget gets a lot crazier, which
It's
is
not that much
kind
crazier.
of. Oh, really? Damn. Because there's some scenes where it's like, Jesus, this looks like concept art for when Disney World shows you, here's how this land's gonna look like in the future. When we build out this world, here's how this is gonna look with the little people walking down there. It sometimes looks really, really bad, but
Lucy
definitely
watched it
enjoying the
over break. She likes it a lot too. She was saying.
really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I trust her because she loves Lord of the Rings. You know, best franchise ever.
Oh my god, I watched
You don't trust
two of
me, is
those
that-
over the break.
You watched 2 Lord of the Rings or The Hobbits?
Maybe I just watched one, but it was on the 2 disc. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gee, what a treat for you. What a treat for you.
Liv Tyler's in it.
We were
Yeah,
actually
what's up?
thinking about redoing the interview with you
Yeah.
in it. Did you want to
Special edition? No, I'm
Yeah,
good.
you wanna do
I'm
all
good.
that?
I was thinking at 100K we do Hobbit in review. That's all. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
I somehow
Goals, everybody. Oh,
the voice of God
It's
speaks.
in January.
I have an update for you guys. We are currently at $51,922.
Holy crap.
Getting there. We have to do some brainstorming. Andy, I like where your head's at. I appreciate you.
Oh,
We
thank
also
you.
have to think of other things to do after 50K.
We need a 55K goal for tonight to get to that.
A 55K goal. What if? Okay, I don't want to throw. I don't want to be too wild, right? Because I don't want to get people's hopes up on anything. All right. Because Lord knows, the workday ends. I got to crank it a couple times, and then I usually stream or just watch TV or whatever. So I don't really have a whole lot going on actually.
Wait, you crank it before you stream? You don't keep that energy going through.
Dude, he's got to keep his mind clear.
Yeah, I got to release. Yeah, because when I can't be sniping to be like, oh, boner. Like I can't do that. I have to be
How many
ready.
times he says, "Oh, I got too horny.
already.
I got too horny playing his games."
I get
You
it.
think if he was actually horny, he couldn't focus on the games. And if you say horny and you have a little bit of horny in you, then you start thinking about it. You're like, man, socks.
Start licking your lips.
Short socks. That's where it's at.
L'erotica, all the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Short socks.
Short socks.
That's where it starts.
Anyway, I was thinking like, similar to what Blessing does. And this is like I'm ready.
Blessing jerks off before he.
I know Tim's already like Andy, don't do it. But what if what if I do like a all the time? What if I do like a 4-episode run of Party Mode? Just bring it back for 4 episodes, and I do crazy edits and silly shit, and then that's it. Just 4.
What do you think about that, King Tim? Huh?
Just a month of it. Just a little treat, right? Treat.
Here's my thing. I love that, Andy. I love that. My only worry is we're making changes that involve a lot of time from all of us, including you. A lot from you. So I don't think 55 is enough for that.
Joey,
are you still here right now?
What if we did 60 tonight?
Joey. Is Joey here? I don't know.
Joey left.
What was the number? Do you guys remember what number she just said?
51. Yeah.
Yeah. This is rough.
Because 75K is Pixar in review.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 60K. It's 60K.
Okay. I like that.
If we hit 60K tonight. Party mode.
Tonight,
yeah.
Yes.
that's wild.
Remember, everybody, if you're just joining us, it's your money on Patreon, both new pledges and anybody who increases their pledges. Then if you subscribe on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, and which gifted subs do work, or if you want to do it for free and make $1 at a time, the duo of clicking follow and clicking the notification bell counts for free.
Clicking heads.
Dude,
and so with that, all of that adds on top of each other. So you could do all 3 and add to the thermometer.
Somebody just said M. Night Shyamalan in review. I think he said it for 55,000. Like, I don't hate that. I feel like that would be really cool.
Yeah, finally make Blessing watch Signs. Blessing has to be on it. Blessing hasn't watched Signs.
Yeah, that sucks. Blessing needs to watch Signs. Kev, the problem with M. Night Shyamalan is there's a lot more movie than you. Blessing's here.
I've been here. I've been here the whole time.
You know, you can turn your camera on. We've set everything up, so there it is. There it is.
No, it was funnier when we forgot that he was in the room, and I was like, "Yeah, Blessing jerks off for a shoot, dude." He's like, "Yeah."
I didn't want to be like the one person who's not usually on the Kind of Funny podcast that was just here the whole time, and then people get the final podcast and they're like, "What's Blessing here?" I don't want to.
I think it's even more weird that Raj is just sitting there, no camera, no.
Oh, he's here too.
Bless.
I'm just having a good old time.
Bless, picture this. Like, you think you're like self-conscious about that. Imagine on April 1st where me and Nick have to do games daily.
I'm so excited because I know for a fact there's gonna be some huge news that breaks. I don't know what it is, but like I think
Neil
E3's gonna cancel again
from games.
Neil Druckmann gets outed. I don't know.
Not only like Greg, I don't know if you heard this part, but I
obviously did.
Not only do Nick and Andy have to host Games Daily, Andy is hosting Games Daily, which means he's mainly reading the stories and then asking his co-host Nick Scarpino what he thinks about the latest and greatest in video game news. But Andy will not be the one prepping the show. The person prepping the show will be Cool Greg. I will give Cool Greg a couple video game websites, including IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku, GamesIndustry.biz, all the normal places we normally look, Reset Era, all the normal things. And Cool Greg will be choosing the stories for Andy to read Nick for a response.
The thing is this, you're gonna break Cool Greg with this because he's
That's
gonna
mean,
he's gonna do way
try.
too much work with this. He's gonna try. He's not gonna get that. I mean, I will appreciate whatever work he puts in, but he's just gonna make my job easier. But he doesn't get that this whole thing is just to embarrass me. So like you have to express that to him. Listen, the whole thing is to make Nick look like an idiot and have fun. So I don't want him like staying up too late and like stressing out about this.
Yeah.
I think was it you earlier, Nick? When it got run down, they were like, I know maybe it was Kevin. I think where he's like, Cool Greg's gonna watch this for like 2 weeks. He's gonna watch every episode.
I love it. This is such a fun.
What is Signs even about? I assume it's like
nobody tell him. Nobody tell him. Nobody fucking tell him.
I'll go in blind.
Bless. You're gonna love Signs.
I'm not a M. Night Shyamalan fan. Granted, I've only seen 2 of his movies, and one of them was Avatar.
Yeah,
The Last Airbender.
No.
Oh, don't. That's it.
So you saw Sixth Sense and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I saw Avatar: The Last Airbender in theaters on my 16th birthday. It was a horrible birthday.
Well, so you know that Avatar is like widely regarded as like the worst great property to movie property ever made, right?
Oh yeah. Well, when I watched Wonder Woman 84 over the Christmas break, I think I literally had the thought of, I don't think I've seen a movie this bad since The Last Airbender.
God, it was so bad.
So I know, I'm well aware.
Did you ever watch Dragon Ball?
No.
Okay.
I knew.
Yeah. Hey, I'm saying this right now, and this only lasts for tonight because we're trying to hit that 60K to make all of this magic happen. Of Party Mode coming back for 4 episodes right now as we're live. But to get there, if we hit 55K, Grunt 10133 in the chat says something that a lot of people have been asking for: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in review.
Oh yes.
Wait.
So we'll do it.
The original 3 plus the animated plus
all of
the
them.
2 after ones?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The original 3, the 2007 CG movie, and the 2 Michael Bay movies.
No.
We will do it if we hit 55K tonight. And then if we hit 60K tonight, we are getting Party Mode.
What's up?
Nick Scarpino, what's up?
If we hit 55K, you got to immediately start working on getting Vanilla Ice on a podcast during that week. Whenever we do Ninja's Secret of the Ooze.
God, that can't be hard. I'm sure you can go on Cameo.
No, I want him.
He's on there for sure.
I want it. Yeah. I would.
Do you want him to do like a Josh McCouga thing where he does one for every episode? And he's like, I wasn't in this one. I got nothing to say about this one.
No, he can just keep talking about the second one over and over again. We'll just shoehorn it into the rest of them.
Gotcha. That's fair. All right. Okay. Yeah, I like it.
I will say though that like I'm not even super worried about the workload for Party Mode because I don't think it has to be 4 in a month. What if it's like every other week or some shit like that? You know, like I'm promising 4 episodes of Party Mode with the silliest bits with made up music that I'm like making up on the fly, and we can't use licensed music, unfortunately. Oh no, wait, no, we can. It's on Twitch.
Andy, just give me a beat and I'll make up the song for you. Go.
Okay.
I'm jumping. I'm dancing. I'm jumping and I'm dancing.
Yeah.
Jumping.
You know,
It's that easy.
That's the song.
That sounds exactly like Song of Storms from Legend of Zelda Ocarina
That's what
of
it sounded
Time.
like. I was like, wait a second before I start singing.
Oh,
This is a song I know.
No. See, I you all. It must be the Discord.
Right?
There's a little note missing there. Unfortunately, y'all didn't hear it. But I'm thinking about like what's
Goes ding,
up,
ding,
Tim?
ding, ding, ding,
What's up, Tim?
Yeah, we missed that. We missed that.
That was so fun.
Do you want to go down south with me and my daddy? It sounds like a fun trip.
Blackberries.
They taste so good.
That's gonna be a nightmare, by the way, because you can't do synchronized songs with streaming.
I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not going to keep adding shit to this.
Sounds like you are. Sounds like this is what you say right before you do it.
I'm adding one more thing, and then no more
Shave the hair
chat,
again.
for tonight. No. Oh, do you see the amount of people talk about shaving my head? Do you know how much I want my hair back? Like,
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it doesn't look good now.
Dude,
For a while we
what?
thought,
No, it
throughout
looks
December,
good.
throughout December, we were like, oh man, it looks good every day. It's looking better. And now, no.
Really,
Andy
I love
loves
it.
I like
love
it.
He fucking loves it, and he's wrong, but whatever. But here's my point. Is tonight we have 45 minutes left. We're trying to get to that 60K, right? 60K Party Mode, 55K Ninja Turtles. If we hit 57 0.5K Kingsman in review.
Oh my
Specifically
god,
for Ruben the Torta right there in chat.
that would be incredible.
You know, I saw a lot of people in there saying we need Aliens versus Predator in review. So it sucks that you're just like cherry picking things you want to do. You know what I mean? Because there's like 19
But like
films in that
Kingsman
series
is
right there.
good, and there's only 2 of them right now.
Yeah, but
there's
think
gonna
about
be
how
one
much
more
fun it
soon.
would be to
One
watch a
good?
crappy Alien.
One was good. The new one looks good though.
The
whenever
second
that
one
comes out.
wasn't terrible. It just
It was
wasn't
terrible.
No, you're terrible.
No, it was pretty bad. It was to the point where it was like, is Channing Tatum in this movie? And then he was like, guess what, guys? I'm not in this movie. You see him for 5 minutes, then he dies.
It's true. He's not in that movie very much.
Spoilers.
I don't think he dies. Also,
It wasn't a fever dream that I told you I had a nightmare about Ghostbusters Afterlife, right?
Yeah,
That was
you
one
told
from
us about
84?
that.
Okay.
He told us that.
Sorry, I won't bring up the same old story. Instead, I'm going to bring up a question from Saul Herrera, who writes in and says, "You are clear your mind, everybody.
Saul Herrera.
You are at a taco shop.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
What are the top 3 meats in the taco, best to worst? Andy, go.
Al pastor,
Gotta go there.
bistec.
What's that? Beefsteak?
Say chorizo. You better say
Steak.
Yeah, steak. Yeah, bistec.
chorizo.
And then I'm probably going with chicken.
You're not throwing
Like
some
shredded
crazy shit in there,
sausage.
like lengua
Shredded chicken.
birria?
Shredded chicken with norte mate. Oh my god, dude. Ugh. Get me started.
Chorizo, carne asada, and then if they don't have those, I walk out. You know what I mean? It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I had a chicken once. I had a chicken burrito once. Blessing, chicken bone in it. You know what I mean? I'm not about this
Ugh.
life. I don't need this. Nick, what are your taco meats?
I'm gonna tell you right now, there is a place, I don't know if it's still there or not, I think it's called Tacos Locos. It was back in Newport Beach, and they used to do fish tacos. They were the
Ooh.
best thing ever. They would ask you what you wanted on it, so they would just start with just like a crispy corn tortilla, and they would go, what do you want? And you could just load these things up to the point where like no human being can eat these with, you need like a third hand.
Sure.
The best thing ever. Those are the
Yeah,
best.
I fucked up. You're right. I do like a good fried shrimp taco. You know, a shrimp taco in there. Get that going. Yeah.
I see a comment in chat from Cyberbones Dylan, and he says, "Okay, you're in the karate shop. Then what?" That's a great callback to
Oh my
Karate
god!
Kid
Wait.
review.
Speaking of that, I said when you guys were when Blessing asked what we did over the break, or Andy asked that. Sorry, it was Andy. It was Andy. Sorry. For some reason, I thought it was Blessing because Blessing keeps talking about. He wants to talk about Wonder Woman 1984, which we can talk about Blessing if you want. But I somehow, in some weird husband magic, got my wife to not just watch, but legitimately be into Cobra Kai, to the point where I walked out an hour ago and I looked over, and we did one of those things when you're married, you go, "Don't watch the show without me." And she's like, "No." I walk out. She's on episode 2 of season 3.
Wow.
I'm on episode 1 of season 3, and I'm like, this will not stay. I was like,
The ultimate betrayal.
is betrayal, but also Tim, kind of like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. Good on you. Good on you,
We
man.
can't waste this because Cobra Kai seasons 1, 2, and 3 will be talked about extensively on In Review
Wednesday.
It went coming out
Oh, we're
Thursday
filming
morning.
Wednesday.
Thursday morning for people, and I can't wait. What a goddamn television
show.
show
What a
this
show.
is! Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
I feel like you guys were right on time for Cobra Kai, because I felt like when it got announced and it originally debuted, and it was YouTube Premium, or is that right? It was something like that.
Yeah, it was YouTube Red or Premium, whatever.
And it was that thing
Nick
where like,
watched it.
yeah, but Nick's the only person I
I
ever heard talk about it,
legitimately-
and then I would have thought it went away, and then now it's back, and everyone is talking about how amazing the show is.
Because
It's-
here's the deal, Greg. I don't know if you know this. Seasons 1 and 2 were on YouTube.
Yeah.
Premium, YouTube Red, and that meant very few people actually watched them, but the people that did loved it. It came to Netflix recently because Netflix is like, oh shit, the audience is engaged. So we're going to greenlight and shoot and help produce seasons 3 and 4 if we get the rights to seasons 1 and 2.
Gotcha.
So they came to Netflix in I want to say September
Yeah,
of last year, and that made the show a bazillion times more popular.
accessible. Yeah.
And it's now one of Netflix's biggest shows.
Yeah,
And it is fucking phenomenal.
I heard
if
it's
you
better
remember-
than Breaking Bad.
Definitely. If you remember, I borrowed Andy's like YouTube Premium login to watch. Because I was like, I'm not gonna buy this. I'm just gonna borrow it. So Andy gave me his login, and that's when I watched all sorts of weird videos just to mess up his his algorithm.
Nice.
Well, I mean, if you remember correctly, I gave you the login so you could watch Nirvana the band, the show, which you never did.
I watched Cobra Kai instead.
But and
God, you suck.
and here's Tim, here's what you got to understand, or Greg, sorry. What you got to understand is, Greg, like, Cobra Kai is not,
Good.
Emmy award-winning good show.
Sure.
It's good because of, like, just what happens with the characters. You start to, like, really feel invested. It's very much, again, we compare it to Fast and Furious. It's not good. It's not, the acting is not great. The writing is not great.
The production value is not great. It's
barely
a TV show.
But I will tell you what, Greg, every time the episode ends and the Cobra Kai logo pops up, I'm in my room just like, yeah, like, come on, man. You just get pumped up. You're so pumped.
It's unlike anything that's ever happened before. Like, we can compare it to a bunch of other things. I honestly think that's a disservice to what Cobra Kai is. It is a just magnificent success story of just epicness, of hype. Like, entirely, it's just hype. And like, whether you have the history with Karate Kid or don't, I didn't. It is, dude, so great.
When people learn how to block a punch, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there are certain characters that eventually learn how to block a punch. You get, it's one of those moments where you do the clap out of the seat thing where you know what I mean? You do that shit. You get hyped up for it. And then Andy's spot on. There's a moment in it where he's like, where Johnny Lawrence is like, but yeah, I want you to make this commercial and then end. I don't know if you guys got this or not, because I watched season 2 again, or season 1 and 2 again. But when he's making the commercial, he says, make sure it ends with the Cobra Kai logo and make that shit chrome with fire on it. And then every episode up until that point has ended that way, and it continues that. So that's why every episode ends with the chrome Cobra Kai logo with the fire coming up. There's so much meta shit that I caught the second time. There's a moment where one of the characters goes like, "Man, you don't just come in here, drop a challenge and leave, man." And I'm like, I'm like, babe, that's a line from the first one. And she goes, "Nick, I don't care." And I'm like, that's so hype.
Blessing, I think you'll love the show because it is an anime.
No, he doesn't get to watch this till he watches Signs.
You got to watch. You have to watch.
Can I not watch anything until I watch Signs?
The first Karate Kid, though.
No, you have to watch the first, second, and third, because like there are things that happen in the second season. You're like, oh my god, they're connecting this to something that I hadn't thought about in forever, and it's like,
how many Karate Kid movies are there?
3.
Technically 5, counting the remake, but there's 4 in the main canon.
Okay.
Y'all need to watch the movies and watch in review. We're gonna get way more into Cobra Kai there. I don't want to get too far.
That's a great point. That's a great point. We're getting off. We're getting off topic.
I just get so excited about it because I would have never ever in a million years thought that I would have given a shit about this. And I tweeted it over the break that Tim makes a lot of incredibly smart decisions for this company, and making us watch Cobra Kai is at the very top, because I would have never watched this series, and it immediately became one of my favorite series. Blessing, it is anime, dude. It is like the other it is the person who is weak and they start getting strong and you're like, holy fuck, they're doing it. Like, it is so fucking sick, dude. It's so sick.
I mean,
anyway, Blessing, what are your top 5 meats?
3.
The
top 3? Oh, for tacos?
Yeah.
Chorizo for sure. Steak.
Yeah.
And then I feel like if they don't have that, I'm probably walking out. But I guess chicken,
look at
number 3.
I'm chiming in with mine, which are chorizo, carnitas, and al pastor. And also, we are at $53,691.
Oh my god, we're so close to TMNT.
Close.
We're so close.
Getting real close to TMNT, baby. Let's go. 55K.
I don't know if I can watch the first one again. It's so emotional.
Please. Number 1 is steak, obviously. Number 2, I'm going shredded chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
You happy with that?
Love
and that's kind of like a tier of its own.
Yeah.
Number 3, I'll go grilled chicken.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm not that adventurous
you guys
when it comes to the tacos.
My god.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
Sad.
2 chickens and a steak when it comes to the
2 chickens
tacos.
and a steak.
Carnitas, I'm down for, but I prefer it in burrito form. And I don't know how to say the word, but the cow tongue,
lingua. Lingua's so good.
I semi-nailed that. Yeah, I'm not down for that.
Nick Scarpino, kindoffunny.com. You have something to interject here about tacos?
I'm gonna say this because I want to give Tim an opportunity to right an egregious wrong here.
Wow.
I want to give him the opportunity to talk about this because I think we can all agree in chat. Please feel free to chime in if you agree. If not, stay silent. Is that shredded chicken can go fuck itself. Shredded chicken is the worst. Grilled chicken is the best. That's all I'll say.
You're
in a burrito?
Or a taco? Absolutely in a burrito. Oh god, it just gets all mushy and
I like that though. You get the sod going on. You get a nice.
I've never had shredded chicken in a burrito. I just think when I think of shredded chicken, I think of corn tortillas that are not hard shelled, but they are soft shell ones that are like, fried in the pan enough to where they have a little bit of a crisp, a tiny bit of a crisp, and it's shredded chicken and it's lettuce as well, and it's got that red sort of texture, not texture, but the it's Norto Mate. I just
sauce.
don't. Yeah, it's called Norto Mate. My grandma always uses it. My mom makes it too. Whenever, that's one thing I miss about going home, man. For the holidays, is that for Thanksgiving, obviously we always have like the turkey thing for Thanksgiving, but the day after, when there's leftover turkey, my mom makes turkey tacos, and it's the same thing where it's like shredded turkey with like lettuce and stuff. Oh my god, it's so damn good. It's seasoned. It's just basically like a red seasoning. Yeah,
it's
so damn good.
I will say the one place that is good is on like a taco salad. I will say that, but I still prefer grilled chicken on a taco salad. Blessing from Kind of Funny.
Oh yeah, thank you. A second ago, or like a minute ago, Andy mentioned 6 seasons in a movie, and I've been very out of the loop in terms of Kind of Funny content ever since I got hired. I immediately stopped watching everything.
Sure. Fair.
But I heard that Andy and Nick have been watching through Community. Is this true?
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I finished it a while back. It's one of those shows where I'm like, I'm so mad I didn't watch this when it was on, when everyone was going through it.
When me and Alfredo were like trying to convince you to watch it, and you were just like, "Nah, that sounds stupid. I hate it." Like,
no,
you're gonna watch The Office one day, Nick. You're gonna fucking do it.
No, I tried to watch.
Community is legitimately like my favorite comedy. It is very good.
It is so clever, and it's like when you start, it's so meta, and it's unfortunate because they can't make shows like that, right? They can't make shows where you jump in season 2 and you're just completely lost with all the references and all the in jokes and all that stuff. But the Community guys and the writers just committed to it, with the exception of season 3, which was garbage. Or wait, was it season? Which one was the Gas League season? Was it 3?
Season
or 4?
I think that might have been 4.
Yeah, that was garbage. Everything else was so clever that I'm like, man, this makes me legitimately nostalgic. And Tim, to your point, I always thought you were talking about Parks and Rec.
Which is also good.
You guys are like, you gotta watch this. I never liked Parks and Rec.
No,
it's too happy and cheery. But Community has a little bit more edge to it that I liked.
We tried to get you to watch The Office too. It worked.
I tried watching.
We had that one night. Yeah, we had that great night in.
Yeah, we watched hours of The Office. That you
Arizona,
stood up. You were like,
were we in Arizona?
Yeah.
It was the same night, Greg, that you and I slept in the same room, and Nick hid behind the bed to scare you.
Yeah.
And in that room, it also happened to be the only part of the house that was not getting heat from the heater. So it was a freezing night. It was like 33 degrees in our room, and it was awful. It was a terrible night.
I found a piece of plastic in the closet that I wrapped myself in because I was so cold at night.
Find me that video. You have it, right, Andy? Don't you? Who has the video?
It's somewhere on Twitter, man. I don't know where it is anymore. Oh, you know what?
Funny.
You know where it'll be? It'll be in my Instagram archives, the story archives.
Oh yeah.
Because somebody ended up screen recording those Instagram archives, and then they posted it on Reddit. Is what happened, I believe.
Oh my God, that was such a fun trip. That was when we went to the Walmart.
Yeah. That's why the trip was fun. I want to do 2 things before we do whatever comes next. Number 1, before we get too far off base, this is something that happened over break that I wanted to bring up and haven't had an avenue to, but it's good. And the taco conversation has reminded me of it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been a long time Kind of Funny fan, you might know of the taco shop at Underdogs, where they fed the Game Over Greggy show crew for the first 50 episodes. When we come home from IGN, we would pick up Underdogs burritos, we'd come home, we'd eat them, and then we'd do the podcast. Andy Cortez.
We'll get to this story after the message from our
No. After this, I'm going to say that. After that, I'm going to say that.
Okay,
cool. Don't worry, because this is a short thing that I'll then get to. Yes, Nick, you're making it longer. What do you got?
We'll get to this story.
I hate you guys so much. So anyways, Underdogs. If you remember, they fed us all the time. We ate there all the time. And then they became so synonymous with us that when Kind of Funny Live could happen and it wasn't COVID, so many of the Kind of Funny best friends would make pilgrimages out to Underdogs and do big things there, to the point that I think it was after Kind of Funny Live 2, I came in to answer emails at the bar one day, and I was sitting there, and the owner came over and she's like, "You're Greg, right? And thank you so much. Your fans were so awesome. They all came in all weekend long, yada, yada, yada." 2 bad things have happened to Underdogs. Number 1, they couldn't renew their lease at their current spot, so they had to leave Underdogs 1. That isn't as important right now, but stick with me. They had to leave Underdogs 1, which meant they were switching everything over. They were getting out of there. Plus, COVID's all screwed up anyway. They couldn't do eating stuff there. Instead, they were filling orders at Underdogs 2, which I don't know if there's Underdogs 2's existed while we've had a Kind of Funny Live thing. But they have another kind of Underdogs. They were doing all of their to-go service delivery there, nothing out of the original Underdogs, many of you know. Underdogs 2, literally as they were shutting down Underdogs 1 to move it to a new location, Underdogs 2 caught fire and had to be indefinitely closed right now, meaning that they weren't making any money at any of the Underdogs for quite a while. They started a GoFundMe. You can go to kindoffunny.com/underdogs. It will take you to the GoFundMe page there, where if you've ever enjoyed Underdogs, you can chip in there, help support their staff. They're looking to raise $75,000 so they don't have to lay anybody off. They're at $4,700 right now. The good news, and it's a small silver lining, is that they have already reopened now what they're calling Underdogs Trace, the Underdogs 3, where they are able to do stuff, but they're just, I mean, I think their window for all this got totally fucked by the fire. So now they had to open it. It's super early. None of the stuff's set up, but they're just doing a window service to get fucking food going so they can actually pay their staff. So if you have the means, if you've ever loved Underdogs, if you ever went to Underdogs, go to kindoffunny.com/underdogs, kick them a buck or two, take care of them. Now, before we get to
I gave the money. Just saying.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, of course. And I've been like, as soon as I found out the new one was open, I drove over there and got a burrito from him. However, now let's have a word from our sponsor. This episode of the Kind of Funny podcast is brought to you by Green Chef. Green Chef is the first USDA certified organic meal kit company. Enjoy clean ingredients you can trust, seasonally sourced for peak freshness. Ingredients come pre-measured, perfectly portioned, and mostly prepped so you can spend less time stressing and more time enjoying delicious home-cooked meals. Green Chef makes eating well, easy, and affordable with plans to fit every lifestyle. Whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, or just looking to eat healthier, there's a range of recipes to suit any diet or preference. Kevin and Paula have been using this, and from what I hear, Kevin is quite happy, and Paula, of course, a vegetarian. There's something they can mix and match on their menus. They can make everything they want, and Kevin's finding the recipes, even when they're meatless, very, very filling and good. Green Chef is the first ever and only keto meal kit on the market. It makes sticking to a low-carb lifestyle easy with recipes averaging only 14 net carbs each. Green Chef's vegan and vegetarian recipes are high in plant proteins and rich in omega-3s. Experts find that following a plant-based diet decreases the possibility of high blood pressure and boosts your immune system. Green Chef is the most sustainable meal kit, offsetting 100% of its direct carbon emissions and plastic packaging in every box, so you can feel great about what you're eating and how it got to your table. You can go to greenchef.com/morningshow90 and use the code morningshow90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. Again, that's greenchef.com/morningshow90 and use the code morningshow90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. I knew the sneeze was coming. Still got through the ad copy great. Nailed my points. Am I great? I'm very great, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Did I miss anything there in the sneeze? I think I'm still great. Am I still great? I am still great. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. And then our second sponsor is Gabby. We're all looking for ways to save money, right? Especially now. So let me ask you this. How would you like to keep an extra $961 a year in your pocket? That's how much Gabby customers save per year on average on car and home insurance. That's why when Tim was shopping for auto insurance, he used Gabby. This is the time of year we go shopping for insurance. Well, Gabby takes the pain out of shopping for insurance by giving you an apples-to-apples comparison of your current coverage with 40 of the top insurance providers like Progressive, Nationwide, and Travelers. Just link your current insurance amount, and in just minutes, you'll be able to see quotes from the exact same coverage you already have. That's what Tim did. He went in, plugged in his information for his car, found out he does have the best rate already because Gabby will show it to you. They're not trying to hide anything from you. Like I mentioned earlier, Gabby customers have saved $961 per year on average. That'd be nice to have in your pocket every year. I think so. If they can't find you savings like they have for so many people, they'll let you know so you can relax knowing you have the best rate out there. And they'll never sell your info, so no annoying spam or robocalls. You're probably overpaying on car and home insurance. See how much Gabby can save you. It's totally free to check out, and there's no obligation. Go to Gabby.com/morningshow. That's GABI.com/morningshow. Gabby.com/morningshow. See, Andy, don't worry. I'm a pro. I know what I'm doing over here.
Where is Underdog Trace?
Real quick.
Underdog Trace is in Old
are we doing
at 9th and Irving. No, we're doing that thing later.
Okay.
I was going to say, Blitz, I have been slowly getting through it. I kind of really hard binged Community all of season 1, and then I got maybe halfway through season 2. And you know what? I think that's when maybe I don't know. There was a game that came out that kind of my nights usually consisted of like I would like just get in bed and watch Community for a couple hours and then go to sleep.
Absolutely.
But it would happen to do like where I would be playing games and then I would go to bed immediately. So I've kind of been slowly getting through the end of season 2 going into season 3. So my momentum definitely slowed down. But I will agree that I think the show is just insanely clever.
It's
and
so good.
It's so self-aware and so I don't know. It's just smart. It's smart
The jokes
comedy.
the jokes feel so unique to the show too. And like Nick was mentioning how meta it is, and like they got between Donald Glover and is it Danny Putty, the dude who plays Abed? The cast just is top notch. With my exception of Pierce, who I'm not a big fan of.
Well, now there was the cast.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase was such an interesting choice for that show. Because if you guys don't know a lot about Chevy Chase, he has a reputation for being just an asshole, like both on and off camera. So, not so much on camera, but in his personal life and like in his professional life, everyone pretty much unanimously has hated working with that guy. So the fact that they would cast him in that role was just so weird. And then how far are you in the series? Did you finish it, Bless, or no?
Oh yeah, I finished it forever ago.
Oh, okay. So like the fact that he had his falling out with the producers and the showrunner and pretty much everyone. And then they ended up bringing in sort of that role in different actors, and it totally reinvigorated it a little bit. Because I think they bring in what's his name from
Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Who's great?
Spoilers, Jesus! I don't know anybody.
Oh, sorry, Andy. Watch more of the show. But I'll tell you this: like the show, as it ends, because the show is unfortunately kind of a product of its own success as well. And that like Donald Glover like blew up, and so did Allison Brie, and so all these characters that start
because of the show.
No, not because of the show, because of other stuff. And then
it was timed perfectly with the show, though. Yeah, the show was hot in like 2011 ish, like 2010 to like 2014, I'll say. And like that was like the core time in which Donald Glover was blowing up with albums and stand-up specials and all that stuff.
Yeah, but like him leaving and everyone at certain points like leaving the show, it feels sad, but it feels when you're about to graduate college or high school, a place where like this has been your family for so long, and then it's just going to be completely different no matter what, just by virtue of you having to leave because you're going on to the next part of your life. And that's what like kind of the last couple seasons felt like. We were like, wow, it actually feels like they're moving on from
graduating
college and graduating,
like people are graduating,
which was cool. Yeah, it was kind of fun. I think they did a good job. And I think I told Kevin, I was like, you got to come back to it, because I think season 4 is kind of I think it was 3 kind of sucks. 4 was a bit of a downer, but they bring it back in one of the seasons. And I'm I'm surprised.
Whatever season where I think it was like the subway episode. Like I remember watching that episode and being like, I remember watching that episode and being like, wow, they got it back. Like this is actually really funny again. And it kind of sucks because by that time it felt like everybody was kind of done with it. And there was I think it was Yahoo TV that brought it back. And by that time, nobody wanted to watch it on Yahoo TV. And I watched it and I was like, yeah, like the show's good again, but it's not worth watching it this way. Like, kind of.
It'd always be like when they had the pillow fort episode inside the school.
Yeah,
giant pillow fort. That was awesome.
And they brought that back.
I think the show is like insanely clever, and it reminds me of the early seasons of Arrested Development, where
that was
the writing is such like inside joke after inside joke, and I loved all the callbacks, and it sort of reminds me of Community. I have the same sort of vibe watching that show. They have very similar senses of humor.
I will say though that Community is the one thing that I've watched, because I watched it last year, I think, right? So Tim, when did it finish up? What era are we talking about for Community? It was like 2000 ago.
Like 20. I associated with like 2010 in my mind, but I think it wrapped up in like 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, sounds about. So maybe it wasn't that long ago, but I just remember thinking, I'm like, wow, this comedy actually has aged very well. It's still good, unlike Arrested Development, where and maybe I'm getting the Arrested Development confused with when they brought it back to Netflix and it just didn't do that great.
That was bad. That
was terrible.
But I was like,
I kind of like the Netflix seasons.
No, you didn't.
I didn't watch season. What was it, like 4 or 5 that they brought it back? I watched it twice in both its iterations.
Did you watch the first 3 seasons?
Yeah, I watched all of Arrested Development. Aside from, I think there was like the newest season on Netflix I haven't watched yet.
And then
but everything else I watched.
I didn't watch season 5. That was like the most recent one or whatever. But
I think I only watched
season 4 I watched when it came back to Netflix, and I didn't hate it. I just thought it was really disjointed because it was clear that people weren't filming in the same spot at the same time. So the chemistry wasn't there. But I thought it was I thought it was very much in the ways that I get impressed by, when Christopher Nolan does the cool moments in his movies. Season 4 of Arrested Development did that a lot. Like with timeline stuff, we were like, oh, that's how this and this happened. It's a flashback. it got really creative in ways like that I still thought it was worth watching, but it still wasn't as good as 1 through 3.
I've never seen Arrested Development, any of it at all, and I think
Oh my God.
I might be a little too late on it all. But like, kind of a segue from this conversation to something that Andy just brought up. Like, I often wonder, like, we're in a world now, 2021, where every piece of movie news, TV news is like being leaked to us. We know Spider-Man 3 is going to be insane. We don't know exactly how, but we know it's about to be ridiculous, right? In a world 10, 20 years ago, that wouldn't necessarily be the case. Some of it we would know, but some of it we wouldn't. Like, I wonder if we didn't know all these behind the scenes things of actors and actresses, like being a part of a project, not a part of a project. If you didn't know, Andy, that Arrested Development had the weird scheduling, if you didn't read that article, right, that got passed around and everyone knew, I wonder how much that would actually affect the reaction to the content.
No, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this.
Didn't know.
I could tell that people were green screened. I didn't know it was. I didn't know it was because of scheduling conflicts, but I could tell people were green screened. Like, there was a lot of scenes where it's like, yeah, the lighting here is not matching anybody. Like, what is going on in these scenes? It reminded me of Greg. Well, I guess Tim will understand this as well. The scene in The Office where Michael and fucking what's his face,
Stanley.
No, like a tall glasses.
Dwight.
Dwight. Michael and Dwight go to the landfill, and it's clear that they are in a green screen landfill, and they're trying to kind of recreate, kind of dusk lighting, primetime evening lighting, and you could just tell it's all super fake. There's a lot of moments like that in season 4 of Arrested Development that are that bad looking.
There for sure are. And like, when I watched it, I didn't know about the scheduling stuff, and I didn't put it together until I read an article afterwards. But it was that thing of, oh, that makes a lot of sense, because watching this show, I just thought they were trying to go for something like artsy and weird, and they kind of like, they shoot it in ways where it's like, okay, this actor is available for this episode, and this other actor is available for this other episode, and by the time you get to the finale, they kind of wrap it all up in a way that feels like they're going for something, and that kind of worked on me. But Andy's right that, like, yeah, it is very apparent that there's something going on with the scheduling and all that stuff.
I just think it's so interesting because, like, I've known myself, there's been so many times I'm like, oh, that's clearly green screened, and then I see the behind the scenes, I'm like, oh, it wasn't. Like, that's crazy, like, because like Arrested Development's one thing. I'm not specifically calling out that. I'm just saying, like, it's funny that, like, we all get so critical of these things when it feels a little bit off, and it feels off. At the end of the day, who cares if it's green screen or not? Like, it feels off. But
Tim, you gotta watch Arrested Development. I think
it's worth watching.
Really,
it's just so creative in its callbacks and its inside jokes, and it was such a hard watch for people to get into because it wasn't like Friends or Seinfeld, where every episode just sort of standalone and you hop in whenever. Like, if people were hopping into season 2 of season 2 episode 4, they've missed out on these inside jokes that they're referencing from early in season 1.
Why is this guy wearing jean shorts in the shower?
Why is Will Arnett clucking like a chicken over and over and over again?
But like, that's almost why I think it might be missed on me, because, like, it's been like Kevin's favorite show of all time, correct me if I'm wrong at this point, but is seasons 1 to 3 of Arrested Development.
Really good.
And it's like, he's told me a lot about, hasn't spoiled things for me, but he's told me about, like, the plot progression, how the jokes come back and pay off. And it's like, once you know that, it's not as
in the
important.
first season.
Whereas
I think
Community, though, I think Community gets better with time. But, like, I guess maybe if I think that, having seen Community, maybe I'm wrong about Arrested Development.
I think Arrested Development is another thing too, because, like, I think Community feels like it is taking the learnings of Arrested Development and using that to create its own kind of humor. Where it's the exact same thing on, like, 2 different spectrums or 2 different ends. Where, like, Arrested Development does the thing where it's like, hey, we have a specific type of humor, and we're building on all these inside jokes episode after episode after episode, and I think it does get good with time. Like, I watched it for the first time when season 4 was coming to Netflix, which I think might have been like 2014, and at that time I was in college, and even then I was like, this seems masterful, like, this is very hilarious. And so if I enjoyed it then, I think you could enjoy it now.
All right, I love that. I will say Andy has never steered me wrong on TV shows, because right now we got The Office, we got Nathan For You, and we got Nirvana the Band, the show. And all 3 of those, I'm like, knocked out
home runs, dude. Out of the park, Nick. You see that? You see how far that ball went? Real far, dude.
Andy, let me get that login for YouTube again. I'll watch Nirvana.
You're gonna rewatch Cobra Kai somehow. There,
it's not even on there anymore.
It was just better. It's more pure. It's right from the original source. This is how it's supposed to be.
Dude, well, I'll tell you what. I will say this: watching Cobra Kai on YouTube as a platform was weird because it felt a lot like a very, very well done YouTube show. And I think it kind of, for me at least, it kind of added to like the grassroots nature of it, where you're like, okay, clearly the show doesn't have a ton of budget, but what they do with it actually ended up, I think, working well with the platform. So it's interesting that people are liking it on Netflix, because you watch it and you're like, this doesn't really, like the first season specifically, you're like, it's barely a Netflix quality show, maybe a little bit below it, but I think you're right. I think Andy's right. It's just about the characters and how well you vibe with them.
And all the turns, the heel turns, the face turns.
So much, man. It's so much.
Speaking,
it's about rivaling karate dojo. Sorry,
I'm gonna watch it. I've added it to my list.
What about Signs? Is Signs on the list?
No, I don't know how I can watch Signs.
Blessing's gonna be.
It's a fucking movie. How do you watch any movie?
Is it on Netflix?
Bless, you're really gonna do yourself. You're really gonna do yourself a disservice if you don't watch at least Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3 beforehand.
Yeah, you're not gonna get.
Trust me. Trust me. It's so worth it. It's so worth it.
Here, Blessing. Let me just say this.
Kevin saying this. Fuck.
Blessing.
Goddamn Cobra Kai.
Blessing. Let me just say this. Okay. I thought all these movies are going to be god awful,
hot garbage.
I watched part 1, and it is legitimately really good, and immediately became one of my favorite movies. I was so happy that I hadn't seen it up until now, and I had such an appreciation for it. It's legitimately a good ass movie. Part 2 really steered me wrong, and they went for over the top cheese and bad decisions, and I'm like, oh, I was not expecting this sort of turn. And I could see it being great if you knew this franchise was going to be cheesy and like lame the way we love Fast and Furious. But I just wasn't expecting that. Part 3, I love, and it's a train wreck. It is an absolute awful movie, and I loved every second of it.
And you don't have to watch the fourth one.
Yeah.
No, you have to watch the fourth.
It's so much fun. So much fun.
Blessing.
For now.
Blessing, do you have Amazon Prime?
The fuck does that mean?
Yes, I do have Amazon Prime, yeah.
Signs is on Amazon Prime Video. And it gets better. It gets better, sir. And you can create a watch party for it and watch the movie with other people and chat at the same time. So let's do a Signs Kind of Funny Best Friend community watch along. We'll do that. All right. That'll get you.
Can we make that a goal?
No, we just do it.
How much, Joey? What are we at right now?
I'm working on it. I'll
add $1 to
it. You read my mind, Andy. You read my fucking mind. Everybody, if you're a Prime member, you can give your Twitch Prime sub to us and help the thermometer, and then you can also join our Signs watch party, which will be coming in the near future.
Are we doing like a M. Night Shyamalan review or something, or like what? How does Signs come up?
Here's the thing. The way that the in review happens, there's so many aspects that I have to think about in terms of how many episodes there are, who here actually gives a shit, the quality of the movies, like, are they all good? Are they all bad? Even if they're all bad, is it going to be worth the content? There's so many things I need to juggle. M. Night Shyamalan's a very, very, very difficult one because there's some very high highs. There's some extremely low lows, but there's like a lot more than you'd expect that are just kind of so-so. And that makes the worst content. So we got to figure this out at some point.
What's the one with Mark Wahlberg where they get attacked by trees?
The answer is the happening. Yeah. And that's the worst. Andy Cortez, what's up?
Hold on, real quick. Mean Gar says he'll give 20 subs right now if we do the Science Watch Along Party. The Science Watch Along Party is happening.
Yes.
I want to watch this with you guys. This sounds fun.
He says he'll do what?
Oh, Nick, it's super easy. It's super easy.
Yeah, watch parties,
Yeah. What was I going to say? If we were to do Shyamalan review, the closest way that I could compare it to in other interview series, I got to assume it'd be closest to X-Men, where the highs are so high with Logan and stuff, and the lows are,
everything else.
Yeah.
And the quantity of movies would be that much.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
That's the biggest.
Dude, The Visit's so good. Come on.
There's
we
a reason.
At 54, 491.
Oh my God, we're so close to Ninja Turtles.
Oh my
We'll
God.
toss the watch party in there. We're tossing the watch party in at 55. I see that Mean Guard just gave it. We'll hit 55. Don't worry.
We are 14 minutes away. Remember, 55K means Ninja Turtles and I guess the Science watch along. 57.5 is Kingsman in Review, and 60 is Party Mode. 4 episodes. If any of you guys are big spenders, let's go.
I don't think I've seen a lot of the later M. Night Shyamalan movies. Because I think what happened was I watched Sixth Sense, and I was, of course, blown away by it. And then I think I watched Signs and then Unbreakable, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with M. Night Shyamalan. I don't think I need to watch this. I think I got The Village spoiled for me. I don't think I've seen the one with Mark Wahlberg in the trees.
You never saw The Happening?
Oh, I'm not going to
It's
say that
so
movie.
bad. It's so bad.
Wait, Craig, you haven't seen it?
No, it looked awful.
Oh my god. Oh shit. We might have to do this one day.
I saw The Happening. We rented it when I lived in Austin, and all my roommates and I, we thought it was going to be the coolest movie ever, and it was just so bad, dude.
But Andy, at that point, like it was out. You knew, like people had talked about it, right?
They didn't have the internet back then. They didn't have the internet.
They did.
Blessing.
Yeah,
Wednesday the 13th.
Oh God.
That's my birthday.
PM.
That's my birthday.
While they were doing John Wick in
Happy
review
birthday.
recording.
No. Greg, you gotta
sit-
wait for me. It's my birthday. I want to do it.
Oh fuck. Okay, cool.
I don't
do that.
ask you.
Do
I
you
never
want to
ask you for anything, Greg, from this channel.
You don't want a $7,000 PC?
he's not gonna get it.
Do you want?
We're not getting him.
Are you gonna do something with D for your birthday, or is she gonna go to bed and you're gonna stay up and watch bad movies with me? But
We're gonna stay and watch bad movies. That's
all right, then we're doing it Wednesday the 13th at night.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, we could go crazy and do it like at 9 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Can you do 9 p.m.? Can we put that in there right there?
Yeah, throw it in.
I'm down. Yeah.
All right, everybody put it in. No matter where, if you're live or later, we're doing it at 9 p.m. Wednesday the 13th. Signs, watch along party. You need to have Amazon Prime. I have no idea how it works. I will look into it.
Roger McCourty will
I could
be
easily
up
do it.
at midnight and watch Signs with you guys.
Now, here's the thing, I guess.
2 a.m.
We're going to do it where we can all chat with each other in the thing. Should we stream? Not the movie, obviously.
Just our
Like this?
Discord? Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Kevin, do you want to
That's
come
so
watch and help run that or whatever?
Fuck, maybe.
I want to watch.
If you don't want to, you don't have to, brother.
No, I'm down. M. Night Shyamalan directed After Earth? I had no
Did he really?
idea.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
Here's my question, and
What a
I
movie.
I know the answer.
Oh, I got a big link
Wonderful
here.
movie.
Okay.
The answer is definitely no.
Are you guys all saying that?
So don't even say it. Don't even. Nobody agree with me. This is a terrible idea.
Chat, hold on, chat, real quick. If you're live, I'm putting a fake with the real Amazon Watch Party link into the thing. Click on it and see if it maxes out. Just if you got Amazon Prime, I want to see if it's gonna be like, oh no, there's way too many fucking people. Sorry, go ahead.
How quickly do you think we could get alien costumes? And how close do you think we could get to Joey's new place before she realized that we were dressed in alien costumes?
And we're just attacking Joey's house.
I
Yeah,
hate
just-
that.
I don't like this one bit. This now suddenly involves me.
I have big windows in front of my room.
Big
That's what I'm
windows.
saying. I'm not saying we go. I'm not saying we breach the property line because Kevin is looking for an excuse to kill me.
Sure.
But I would say we just we go like somebody calls, hey, it's me, Greg. Joe, look out your window, and she looks out, and just a quick little flash of me running around in just like 1 second. She sees
Now,
me in the
here's
alien
the thing,
costume.
guys. I have a lot of cameras that are all connected and recording. So if you guys do anything stupid, we'll have the footage to put up wherever
It's
you
weird.
want.
But if we're dressed like aliens, they won't know if it's me or if it's someone from Mars.
I'm saying like we could definitely easily make content out of this.
Oh, it's working, Greg.
Did it just jump? Is it paused right now? Did I jump
It's
ahead?
paused at 47 minutes, 25 seconds.
Oh, this is great, man. You know, they took all our data and everything else, but they did a great job. Hey, Echo,
we gave it to
you're
them.
pretty cool. You know
People
what
in
I
chat are
mean?
saying
Like,
Gary
that's-
Whitta in review.
I will say this. There's somebody,
With all the
there's
movies you were on?
somebody in the Amazon chat that is named Gorilla Grip Lips. Just like,
What's a horrible name?
Dirty.
Wednesday the
Where'd you-
13th,
where'd you put
everybody,
that
9
link?
p.m. We'll be here. I put it in the chat. I already closed it all down. It's super simple. It's super great. We'll be watching here. You can watch us and hear us live. We'll also have the chat open, and I'll be in control of the starts and stops. Blessing, I want you to have a great time. All right. Here's what you need.
Ruined it for Blessing. What are
Blessing,
the
I want you to bring some
movies of all time?
I don't either. I don't either. It was.
Like, where
I
did
remember.
science come from?
Remember, it was like 10 hours ago where Andy was
about it.
like.
Yeah.
It was like in the movie Signs where he was like Vomito's children. Like that's the original reference, but I don't remember why we were talking.
Oh,
I
you know what?
I literally joined the call, and the
was
first
me.
question I got was like, "Have you seen Signs?" And I was like, "No."
He did too.
I made a
Tim, what'd you
swing away
for?
reference.
It was Tim's swing away reference.
swing away, Meryl. Yeah,
We
swing
did
away.
it. We
Joaquin
got back
Phoenix.
to it, everybody. We got back to it.
And then I told you, Blessing, about the scary scene in the alleyway. The doom.
You did, yeah.
Freeze frame, scary.
So
It's
good.
still gonna be scary.
I
Trust
could
me.
look at
So
that GIF
good.
right now and get scared.
No, don't do it. Don't. Let's, Blessing, just forget everything you've heard. All right, forget
There's
everything you know.
also a knife.
That is good. Yeah, Blessing
I'm
for this
looking at
watch
it.
along
Kevin,
party.
I'm
We're gonna do
looking
like
at
the
it.
Alamo Draft House. So I'm gonna have our friend Eric Castro, master bartender, make a signs drink for you that we have to all make. All right.
Oh, okay, I'm in.
I
People in
love
chat have been
it.
saying bless signs, which could be maybe the name of the drink.
That's good. That's real
I
good.
mean, you don't
Bless
even know if you
That
like
sounds
it. Yeah,
clever.
you know what I mean. I don't know
Oh,
if
it's
you
like you're dyslexic and you're spelling blessings.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you got to put your name and everything.
He's really
That means
good at it, though.
dyslexic,
Have you
he's just
noticed
a
he's
poor
really good at it?
speller.
No, Joey
How
loves it.
about
so
how
I guess
about
it's good.
messy blessy?
Oh, I don't like that at all.
How about this? How about bless his
Oh.
father for our sins, and before you drink it, they have to throw the thing at like the water, like they used to do in church. You know what I mean, Greg?
That's enough. That's
Yeah,
enough,
well, you're
guys.
throwing it like The Exorcist, but yeah, I know. When you say that like they did in church, I was like, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
The
Okay,
power
that
of
makes
Christ compels you.
That makes more sense.
Hardcore.
Eric Courtney on the ones and twos joining us. How are you?
Oh, great.
Boss baby leaving me hanging. Oh, he's trying to talk. Hold on, Barrett.
Yeah, there we go. Discord
There it
like
is.
hard froze for me for like 5 seconds.
It happens, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Just been watching y'all goof around, talk about signs.
Happy second
Good movie.
Are
anniversary.
you gonna
Barrett.
come in and watch with us?
No, fucking.
You don't like signs?
Wait, have you seen Signs?
Not like
Yeah.
signs.
I saw signs. God, way back in the day. Like
And
it
you
was one
say
of those.
fuck no. Who says fuck no to Signs?
You
Like,
don't say fuck
I
no.
get like not loving Signs, but like no one can say fuck no.
Well,
To Signs.
it's not like the quality of the movie. It's just like yeah, I wasn't
You
in
don't
love
need
with
to
it,
ever-
and then
yeah.
also
9
y'all are
PM, yeah.
planning on doing it at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday. Like no, I'm not doing that.
No, see, can I come to Barrett's defense here?
Thursday morning.
I mean, not.
Exactly.
not-
Yeah,
not-
you can.
When do you guys go to bed? I'm old as shit. I go to bed at midnight. That's when I'm like, I'm done with the games. I go to bed. This will be done before then. You can still get an hour
Nick.
reward.
Nick, go ahead and say your piece about how you're going to defend Barrett, and I'm going to tell you something about Barrett that's going to make you tear his ass down. Go ahead.
Oh
Nick.
no, you guys know me. I can defend
Great.
him and also tear him down in the same breath. To Barrett's point, Signs is not one of those movies that I think, oh, it's been so long since I've seen Signs. I have to watch Signs
No,
again.
for sure.
You've seen Signs once, you're like, it's Signs, you know.
I agree.
But I will say it's you guys know that the time span with movies where you haven't thought about a movie just for long enough, where when you see it pop up on Netflix or cable, you go, Signs, I'm gonna watch that tonight. That sounds good.
It's on.
I'm at that place with it right now.
Yeah,
where I haven't
toss it
seen
on.
that movie. Yeah, you know, throw it on. Let's see how it goes. And the fact that we can watch it together and talk crap about it is great.
And you can't like try to leave early because you're at home.
What the hell am I gonna do? Leave
Yeah.
early. Leave here.
You
the hell are
could
you
you could
gonna
you could like kick yourself out of the call and be like, sorry, internet.
Internet
Internet.
issues.
Yeah,
Yeah, internet dropped out.
That's fair. Fair enough. Now, Andy, what were you gonna say about Barrett?
OMGLX says in the chat, Barrett's really good at saying fuck no to just about anything. Yeah.
True.
Oh my God.
System
So
power.
I'm
You should've
like,
said fuck no.
I said, you know, I'm trying to convince Tim to change the whole direction of the company. From now here on out, we only review Mission Impossible movies, like all of them, all the time. And Barrett said,
Over and
"Fuck
over.
no, you couldn't pay me to watch those movies again."
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Blessing, I'd
How
love
do you
to.
guys, why
I'd
do you
love to
guys
see this.
surprise-
surprise?
three.
Hold on.
You gotta mute
hold on.
yourself, Blessing.
Shut
You-
the fuck up here. How are you guys surprised at my opinions? I was one of the votes on the fucking Mission Impossible in review. Don't act surprised like, oh,
I
Barrett
remember you
wasn't in
loving
love.
it.
Yeah,
No,
you loved
I
them?
liked I liked 3 and then like 5, and that was it.
Oh, that was
Wait,
great.
3 is
Oh,
Wait,
bad.
you didn't like,
three.
Rogue. What was 4? Ghost
4.
Protocol?
Ghost Protocol.
Rogue
Yeah.
Five is
Nation.
Rogue
Andy
Nation.
told me Rogue
4,
Nation
5,
was the
and
other
6
one.
were amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
they
you,
were
Kevin.
The one
Yeah.
where he was
Thank
like on
you.
the side of
Yeah.
the building and like
And
you
honestly,
looked back and there
one
was, like,
was
a sandstorm
shockingly
coming.
good.
Yeah, that was cool.
One was shockingly
One was
good.
fun.
Barrett not like
Yeah.
that?
2 was
What,
a
Barry, you should
fucking
at least like
disaster.
one. It's a classic.
no,
Yeah.
So bad.
Two is
there,
a
there are
so
great
bad.
moments throughout some of these movies, but like I'm just not. These are not kind of movies that like I'm personally into.
Barrett-
Like, yeah, it was a hard sell on Fast and Furious, and I eventually got in there. And like I appreciate like what Mission Impossible is. Those is just not my kind of movies.
Barrett,
First
at
off,
the end
and
of
I'll tell you
6,
this
when
right
it
now.
fades to white, are you not like on the fucking edge of your seat being like, holy fuck, is it over?
That was a good cut.
I don't
know
even
there's
remember
another
what
Mission
you're talking
Impossible
about,
coming
dude.
after this, but is it
Good cut.
over?
It's so true. Now, here's what I'll say. Barrett.
Hold on,
Here's
real
what-
quick. Now, from the chat, I like this. Let's Shaddle says, "This is some more Snowbike Mike shitting on PS5." Lol.
Here's what I'll say about.
And also, people just like always is saying that I got bad movie takes. All of us have bad movie takes, and it's not that like
No,
I'm
I have great
shitting
ones.
on these movies.
I'm fucking
They're
nailing
just
it.
not.
10 out of 10.
I never.
They're just not for me.
I will say this, Barrett. If you can somehow find a way to love Fast and Furious, well, then, my friend, you can love any movie franchise. It doesn't. Once you allow yourself to be open to the ludicrousness that is, and I mean that in every sense, Tim. Every sense.
Thank you. That's the only reason I respect what you're saying right now, because otherwise I don't.
I mean, Tim and I, Tim and I, we both love the movie for different reasons, the franchise different reasons. But if you can get your head wrapped around the art that is the Fast and Furious, then you can surely appreciate any movie franchise out there, specifically one that's, in my opinion, only gotten better as they go on, which is Mission Impossible.
Hold on. That's why I can't agree with you at all, Nick. It's like Mission Impossible and Fast and Furious have only things to share in common, which is they get better as they go on because of the shit that they came from. It's not like, oh, if you like this, you'll like anything. No, those two franchises stand alone. I would say alone in the fact that they are franchises that have over 5 entries that go from bad to somehow spectacular.
Part one.
I regret coming into
no. Part one of both. I give the credit to, but I'm saying like in between. Mission Impossible 1, Fast and Furious 1. Obviously, we give the shout out to, but it's like it took a lot of build up to get to where we're at now. 2 decades later for both franchises.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, great.
Oh my God, Philip Seymour Hoffman terrified me as a kid.
Good.
Here's what I'm going to say. Having just watched this next franchise that we're going to talk about, Tim, I'm so excited for you in the next week.
Me too, dude.
I'm
still watch John fucking Wick for the first time.
So I knew, I remember we talked about the schedule, and I was like, I can't remember when we were going to do it, but I was like, D was like, hey, we should watch John Wick. You put it on our HBO, or I put it on one of our things. I put a bunch of movies on all of our lists just to, if I forget, we go through, and then I'm like, oh, John Wick. She goes, oh, John Wick, we should watch that. And I was like, I think we're watching it pretty early, but I'm not even going to bother looking it up because D wants to watch the first one, and I cannot wait to see her reaction to this movie. She's going to hate it, is the first thing that I thought. Because you guys know my wife. She's conservative when it comes to her choice. You know, she likes good movies. She doesn't like, I mean, for lack of a better word, like schlocky.
She's better than you. She's better than you.
100%. Yeah. I don't deserve her whatsoever.
Yeah.
We're 10 minutes into this movie, and she's like, I love this. And I'm like, oh, we're going to watch the next 2. And she goes, are they different? And I go, no, it's the same. For like 6 hours straight. And she's like, you know what? I'm in. We ordered a fucking pizza and we watched all of them. And I was like, I have to watch these again in 2 weeks. I don't care. And I can honestly say, Andy, remember how we got the third one ruined because of that experience in the theaters?
Yeah.
It didn't get ruined this time.
Was that the
one? That was
eating
a burrito.
I was like,
that was the homeless guy Barrett. Yeah, the homeless guy who just kept talking to himself.
Tim, you're gonna fucking love these movies. There's no if you come on that first one and go, guys, I didn't like it, I will eat my fucking hat. I swear to God.
Wow.
Metaphorically speaking, I don't want to,
Oh,
okay.
I would really like that hat. Don't eat it.
Well, I respect a mighty amount. I want you to know that. And the fact that in this podcast, I know that she now loves John Wick and Cobra Kai. I'm like, oh, this makes me even more excited to watch John Wick. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's so good. And shout out to Keanu Reeves. He can do no wrong. He really can't.
Oh, man.
It's that time, ladies and gentlemen, to wind down not only the podcast, but the 12-hour stream. Before we go, this will be a simple one. It's going to be a little bit hard because not everybody has their cameras on. And I don't want to, that'll screw everything up for you, Kevin, right? Or
no, everyone can turn on their cameras and everything will just adjust.
Go ahead and turn your cameras on here, real quick. Like, all right. There we go. It's adjusting. It's going. There's Joey.
What's wrong with my camera?
What is that?
My God.
Happening?
I had a nightmare about hell one time, and that's exactly
what it looked like. That's what it looked like. So can everybody see the stream? Like, can you see the layout of the stream right now? Or is
no one can
see
the layout of the stream.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the stream backend or whatever.
Okay.
I have a get out of here.
Yeah.
And then all of us are okay. So you can see the live stream right now, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I can call it. Okay, here we go. Everybody, look where you are on the thing. We're gonna start with Andy. All right. And yeah, Andy, go from the right side of you're gonna go to blessing, and then it'll make sense. Austin writes into patreon.com/kindoffunny and says, I'm just really glad you guys are back, and I'm stoked for 2021. I don't have a question, but I thought it would be neat for each member to say something genuinely nice about the person to their right on stream. Peace. So that would mean from the live thing, Andy, you're looking at Blessing go.
Who's to my right? Oh, hold on. What?
Blessing, I just said
What?
that.
Do I look this way?
No, the other way.
You're other way.
Other way. Other way.
The other way.
way.
But you don't have
Okay.
to look at him. You don't have to.
No,
that's
I would
weird.
like to though. I would like to for
Oh,
the
sure.
theater of it.
Okay, sure.
Blessing.
Andy.
You've impressed me since day one. I'm glad you are a part of the company. You have great taste in video games, especially Metal Gear Solid.
Thank
And I think that's where I realized that, I have a profound respect for you. You could dance really great.
Thank you.
You have good arms. Got great arms, right, everybody? Blessing's got
He's got
really
great
good
arms. Yeah.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
arms.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
abs.
Congrats.
Good abs as
Yeah,
well.
great body overall. Tight.
And you're my favorite host at Kind of Funny.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
By far, markedly better than anyone
Mhm.
that you go with.
Thank you.
I love this guy. Fucking love him so much.
All right, Greg Miller.
The opposite way, Bless.
Man. The opposite way?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
There you
Greg
go,
Miller.
there you go.
Damn, I wish I had like time to think about this because it's hard to go off the top. You
Make something
continue
up.
to be a wonderful leader and host. Obviously, like we wouldn't have all this without you. And I think I speak for myself, Snow White Mike, Roger, and pretty much everybody that you brought on, right, as like a hire or like a host, and whether it's on camera or off camera, right, that like you were the one that kind of fueled this flame inside us that like got us into content creation. I know me and Roger is a very exciting hire for me because I've worked with Roger in the past. Like me and Roger have been homies for years. And like I remember like seeing one of, and now this is turning into me saying nice things about Roger. I remember seeing Roger's video essays on YouTube in like, I don't even know what year it would have been. It probably was like 2017, maybe 2016. Actually, probably was 2016 because it would have been when I started OK Beast. I remember seeing Roger's video essays and knowing Roger was in the community and being like, dude, this dude is talented. This dude is amazing. I'm going to, I want to learn from this dude and I want to make content like he's making. And that's how I started getting into making my own video essays. And that's how we became homies. And now we're both here. And that's a beautiful thing. And that is because of you, Greg Miller. And so thank you for that.
Thank you, Wes. I'm gonna do this. No, I'm not gonna do the whole way. Joey Noel, how are you? Of course, you're effervescent. You're a ray of sunshine each and every time. But I think more of what people don't know about you is that we put far too much on your plate and shoulders, and you take it all on without buckling or getting mad at us. It's to the point that I don't know what your job title is, but I know it doesn't reflect
I
what
don't
you
think
do.
you do either.
And I think we pull you in a few too many directions, and I think you get it all done. And that's the most important thing, is that you're out there, making sure the things happen. And I know that it doesn't happen necessarily. Porty wants to get down. The way you want it sometimes. I know it's not up to your standards sometimes, but you make sure it gets done while holding a million different things together. That is a crazy amount that is not guided enough by us.
Thank you. I'm excited that I get to have Kevin because it was before the break, I was playing Among Us with a bunch of girls and I had decided that I wanted to stream it. So I hijacked Tim's setup and I asked Kevin to help me set it up. And he was like, oh yeah, it'll be super easy. We'll do it. We'll get in there. And of course, it's never how technology works. But being able to see Kevin on the fly and the way that his brain works, which I think everybody has also been able to see today with all the stream switching and stuff like that, is like mind-blowing and the most impressive thing. Like the knowledge that you have and the way that you like troubleshoot and stuff like that, I find to be incredibly impressive. Not to mention that like I feel like I miss hanging out with you, so I'm excited that we get to be neighbors and we get to like hang out.
Very
It's really
stoked
fun.
for that.
For as much shit as I give you for like all the stuff we talk about, I genuinely do enjoy your company, and we like do, especially like with all the movie bros stuff, like we like hang out a lot.
Yeah.
And I've missed that this year. So I'm really excited that we get to do it again.
Me too. Nick.
I want to point out in the chat, a lot of people say Kevin has to say something nice about Nick. By the way, it's the only reason that Greg did this.
I really want Kevin to just be like this. I really want Kevin to just be like, Nick, you have one car, and then just
it's a nice car though. No, Nick. I was, we're redoing the next week and like going forward. What we do is going to be so different, and I know that you and Andy and Mike are going to be playing Call of Duty. And I'm going to be honest, I have been dreading running that just because it was like, man, I don't want to be there for that. That doesn't sound fun. But running it today, you were a lot better than I expected you to be. And you guys put on a hell of a show. And it was so good that switching between you guys was really fun and entertaining for me to do. So I'm very excited for the next several weeks or months or however long you guys are in a Call of Duty, and like I'm super stoked for how all of this streaming stuff is going to go.
Awesome, Kev. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you all have a good bonding moment when you were helping moving out the studio? Because I feel like that helps a lot for the situation.
Oh, by the way, me and Kevin, whenever we're just the two of us, we're like chatty Catholics. We just have a blast.
Yeah, we have a great time.
Blast with that stuff. Yeah. It's just when we're on camera and we just like to mess with each other. That's how it goes. But yeah, when we moved to the studio, it was super fun. And I will say, Kev, that's great. That was, well, it wasn't fun. It was fun hanging out with you.
Well, yeah. It was a lot of fucking work. Way too much work.
It was terrible. Yeah.
Standing outside.
Well, I mean, you also smoked cigarettes and let me breathe that in. That was
yeah.
I was like, I literally at a certain point, like day 3, I was like, Kevin, is it time for another cigarette? And Kevin's like, sure.
At one point, Cool Greg said, "Hey, man, today was a lot of fun," and I was just like very, very impressed by like just that we were able to have him have a good time.
I know that makes me happy. Roger. We have not worked together. I mean, you've done stuff for us, but this is the last few weeks has been I've gotten the opportunity to see how your mind works and worked with you close graphic stuff. And I'll say, man, I'm very impressed by your level of technical knowledge to the point where I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but you did some stuff for the Blessing Show, and I asked you to share your project so I could see just kind of like copy and paste some of the stuff you had done. And I learned so much just by jumping in one of your projects that I was like, man, I'm very excited to see what I can learn from you in the coming years and watch you progress within our group. It's very exciting. And man, I'm already proud of you, which is crazy because you've only been really with us full time for a day. So it's awesome, man. Looking forward to seeing the great things you accomplish with us.
Thank you, Nick. That means a lot. Barrett, you and I have been boys for a long time, and this is it's really weird, honestly. Like, because Barrett and I have known each other for a while. We've talked about we've had many. I remember at Extra Life, him and I were outside. I was vaping when I used to vape, and he was I was cool as hell back then.
Yeah,
and he was hitting it off at me, and we were just talking about the future of man, is this a possibility? Could we work there? And then I was just talking about. I remember specifically that day. I was like, I think I'm gonna give up. I think I'm done with this. I don't think I'm going to go for this anymore. I think I'm just going to go into film or try to do something else. And you were the one that encouraged me to keep doing it. Yeah. And I will never forget that. That was the moment where I went back and I started to really think about the fact that this could happen. And we're here, both of us, and you're amazing. And you're extremely talented. And I'm excited to work with you in the coming years.
Thank you, Raj. Yeah, I think about that conversation a lot because I think that was a moment where I think both of us were we were unsure of our futures, and just to give a peek of how much we love Roger. Alyssa was tearing up seeing Roger's reveal today. We love Roger in this household. This is a household that respects Roger Picorni.
I'm kind of iffy on him.
Oh, okay, that's it. I forget that Andy lives with us.
I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting to see what he does.
And yeah, it's been fucking crazy. No matter how close we are physically or how far we are physically, and other projects that we've been working on, seeing us kind of grow and both end up here is just like George Lucas once said, it's like poetry.
Oh God, it rhymes.
And I love you, man.
Love you too, man.
Timmy, God, there's so much to say to you. You've been like a big brother to me here in San Francisco, and I don't say that lightly. There's so much that you know me. I always come into things knowing, thinking that I know everything, and you've been someone who helps me kind of reel back and see the full picture. And I can't tell you enough like how much that means to me and how much that has helped me grow and continue to grow as a person. And there are a few minds like yours, and I very much appreciate that, and just being able to see things for what they are. So thank you, Tim.
Greg's wearing the glasses, so it's a little cheap because he probably was tearing up when.
What me? Never. I'm a
but
man.
here I am tearing up. Thank you, Barrett. I appreciate that a lot. I honestly, there's a lot of shout outs I want to give. Like I know right now to my right, I don't understand actually what's going on here, but I see Mike is popping up in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, Snowbike Mike is here. Mike, he joined in the middle of this when I was like, oh shit, it is everybody but Snowbike Mike and Cool Greg. Cool Greg, of course, is the knight and will not be on camera. But Snowbike Mike, when you turn on your camera, you're gonna have to say something nice about the person to your right.
But that is my thing. Is like with all of this, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's ever made this all what it is now. Whether it's Andrea, Danny, Imran, Fran, all of the Jared Petty, all of the part timers that we've had. Everybody that's grown this, whether like Colin, of course, from the original days, and Cool Greg, who's not here right now, and Mike, who debatably is here to be the future of all of this. But I do want to talk about Andy, who is the one I was thinking about as I was, I'm the last one, so I was like, I got to get to prepare the longest, but it doesn't make it the best. But I do want to say, Andy is. It gets weird. We've been doing this a long time. Yeah. This is our 6-year anniversary, but Greg and I were talking about this last night. It's kind of not like we've been doing this since 2012. Like, conversation with Colin first started in 2012.
Oh, it's wild. That's crazy.
It's insane to think of how much we've done and changed and grown, and to look at what we have right now. We're the fucking Brady Bunch. Like it's pretty insane, right? And with that, it's like, we had Kev from the beginning. Like so he was hired a little bit later, but like he was there since the beginning. And then we kept going, and like there's this weird hazy period that I don't know if it's just like I'm getting old or what, but I don't exactly understand what happened around Joey coming in, Andy coming in. Like all of that is a haze to me in a way where I don't know which one of you was first. You know what I mean?
Joe was first.
But like I know Joey was like helping out first. I know she was like doing stuff from down in SoCal and all that, but like it just gets a little bit iffy on the exact this happened and this happened. And we're kind of funny. So there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, aka Roger's been working for us for 2 months, and Snowbike Mike's been doing things little by little over the years. So it's like we don't really, it's hard for us, the people you're looking at right now, to look back on our history and understand when exactly did Cool Greg start? Because he started a lot earlier than KFL 3. When exactly did Joey start? When exactly did all these people start? But Andy Cortez is somebody that I will always remember exactly when he started. And I think that with that, it was, if I'm being honest, a lot later than I fucking expected, Andy. Come on, man. But it was one of those things where you were the first person that we really reached out to as a growth potential, where it was like everyone before you, Joey, Kevin, and all of us were like, we need help doing what we're doing because we're struggling and we're working really hard to do what we're doing. We need help. You were the first person that was like, we want to be better. We want to do more. And we knew you were the guy, and you've proven that time after time that you are the guy. And you've been with us for, even longer than that, because you've been doing t-shirts, you've been doing designs, you've been doing stuff for us for, as long as we've been doing this, essentially. But we knew, and it was a conversation I had with Kevin at Outback Steakhouse.
Of course.
Hopefully not. Great conversations happen.
Hopefully not RIP. Hopefully not. It's not dead yet, but Corona might get him. But it was a conversation we had where Kev was talking to me. He's like, "Hey, we should get Andy." And I was like, "We're trying to get an editor though. We want to do this show." It was party mode. We knew we wanted to do party mode, but we just didn't have the guy. And Kevin was like, I think Andy's the guy. And I was like, I know he's the guy, but like, I don't know if he knows how to edit. Like, I know he knows, more game design stuff. I know he knows graphic design, but I don't know if he knows how to edit. And I'll never forget calling you and being like, and it was probably my 5th phone call with you. that I told you way more than I probably should have.
The Tim Gettys special. The Tim Gettys special.
Yeah, it's the positives. All right. So here's the thing. That's how like phone calls start.
Yeah. But I was like, hey man, you're the guy. That's how I started. I was like, you're the fucking guy. But do you know Premiere? And you're like, I mean, no, but like, kinda. And then here you are today, and you've proven you're the fucking guy. Like, it is so awesome to me that I really feel like the moment Andy Cortez joined Kind of Funny became what it is now. And it is this diverse collective of people that are talented in so many different ways that somehow come together that all of us can be in one call and having just as much fun as when it was originally me, Greg, Colin, and Nick. And I think that expands from a spare bedroom all the way to the heavens. And I hope it doesn't end there because that sounds negative, but I mean it in a positive way. I can't wait till we're all together in a studio again. It's going to be the dopest fucking thing in the world. But I'm looking forward to the next 6 months being us doing this, having as much fun as we've been having.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that, man. And
Thanks,
Mike,
congrats on learning from
Yeah,
me.
there's Snowbike Mike. All right.
now, Mike, you have to say nice stuff about me again, because like the way this.
You want me to double up on you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
now Mike's next to Tim. Now he can say something nice about Tim again. So, Mike, have you caught on what's happening? Were you watching live still? I don't know.
I've been watching live, and
Okay.
a lot of really nice things were said about all of you. And I'll do the blanket statement for you, but I think I have somebody special in mind that I would like to give my big thank you and say something nice about. So, of course, to you, Team Kind of Funny, it has been an incredible ride. You have inspired myself and so many others around me to go out there and be our best every single day. Whether it be pursuing something that we're happy, whether it be bettering our lives, bettering our community, and going out there and lending a helping hand to somebody. You all have created that fire, that spark that so many of us needed through tough times and hard times to believe that anything is possible. You all made this person's dream right here. Mike Howard, you made this dream possible. I had so much fun watching all of you grow. I was inspired by each and every one of you. I was challenged by each and every one of you. And you provided me opportunities where I stepped out of my comfort zone. I was somebody that was shy. I was somebody that didn't like to talk, that didn't want to be in the front of the pack and be in front of a stage. But you all inspired me to go out there and try. And I gave it my best effort. I failed sometimes, but you all picked me back up. And that meant the world to me. So thank you for that. But most of all, I want to take my opportunity to thank the community, because I am one of you. We all are one of you right here in front of you on this screen. Each and every one of you, we are best friends, and you're best friends. And when I say I want to thank the community, I mean it. Each and every one of you has had a connection with me. You've had a connection with these 10 people on the screen, and everybody that's come before me and everyone else that's associated with Kind of Funny. Each and every one of you support one another. You encourage one another. You believe in one another, and you believe in this group. We've had hard times. We've had bad times. We've had good times. And all of you have stuck around. Each and every one of you know that the message has been simple. Be good to one another and better yourself every single day. Do not be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, to go out there and try something, because these guys have inspired me to do that. They've inspired everyone around me to do that. And I know that they've played a part in your life to inspire you to do that. So no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you want, just know that all of us here at Kind of Funny believe in you and will support you through and through, just like you've done with them. And just know that 2020, it's all about going out there and stop talking about it and just be about it. Go out there and try, because we believe in you just like you believe in us. Thank you for your support. Thank you for growing, adapting, and learning with us. And just like this year is going to be, we're going to have growing pains. We're going to try new things. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some smiles, and we're going to fail sometimes. But all of you will be there to lift us up, tell us what you want, and we'll adjust accordingly. Thank you, Kind of Funny best friends, for being the best community on the internet, being the best people on planet Earth. Remember, each and every day, if you try, we can better planet Earth together. I love you.
I'm not going to let it end there. I need to say something. That was the best speech to end this all, but I need to say one thing because I think it's very important. I've had so many phone calls with Mike Howard, Snowbike Mike, over the last couple months as we've been working towards all of this. And every single time I'm on the call with him, he goes, I'm going to do what's best for you guys. I'm going to work for this. We're going to make this happen. Like, you guys are number one. Like, I know the audience. I know your audience. I know blah, blah, blah. And I was like, stop. Every time we'd have the phone call, I'd say, stop saying that. We, us. It's we. It's us. Stop saying you guys. Stop saying there. Stop saying all. It's us. And I just heard Snowbike Mike for the very first time say we at Kind of Funny. And if that doesn't make me fucking tear up, I don't know what does, man. I love it. I love you, Mike. I love all of you. I'm going to leave. I'm out. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 10 best friends gather around these microphones, each coming to share their bullshit with you. You like that, and we love you. If you can do it, please go to patreon.com/kindafunny. Of course, over there on a normal day, you can get the show early. You can watch us record it live. You can get it ad-free. You can be part of the show. Of course, this is a very special month for January. We are filling that their fundraising thermometer down there. We've already hit our initial goal of $50,000 in the first night. There will be another 12-hour stream this month. We have a whole bunch of stretch goals to roll out and different things to do and in reviews and all sorts of shows to plan. Joey, do you have a final tally for right now?
What do we have? We are at $56,081.
TMNT in review is happening, Kevin. Of course. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm doing party mode anyway.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah, we're doing party mode.
Andy, can you relax?
We have the votes without it. We don't need to worry about it.
We got a whole nother stream. We can make that
No, but Tim did that. If we hit 60 tonight, we're doing party. We're doing 4 episodes of party.
Don't worry about it. Of course, there for you.
That ain't happening.
Damn, he canceled it again.
They revived it for 2 seconds. He ran it with the gun. Yeah, get all the stuff. If you don't want to give us any bucks, no big deal, of course. For this month in particular, but for the rest of existence, probably twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Remember, you can sub there. That would help the thermometer. But for free, you can go to twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. You click the follow button, you click the notification bell. That counts for the thermometer. It doesn't cost you $1. If you have, Amazon Prime, which we're going to use for the Signs Nick Scarpino birthday party on Wednesday the 13th at 9 p.m. Pacific, you could give us that free Twitch sub as well. Of course, youtube.com/kindoffunny podcast services around the globe each and every week. Now twice. Remember, we have another Kind of Funny podcast with a guest. Maybe Carl from Mr. Beast will actually respond to the DM. We've been going back and forth. This kid, you kids are supposed to be good with your technology. This kid just doesn't DM Blessing. What's up with that?
I can text him. I have his
that'd
number.
be helpful. Yeah, text him and see if tell him to check his DMs because the date changed. You know what I mean? Like
you gotta understand that there are a million people in his DMs, Greg.
Yeah. Millions, Greg. You know what I mean? Like he came to my meet and greet.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't even remember him though.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Kind of Funny podcast. Of course, that is your 12-hour stream. If you're watching live, I'm trying to get better at Twitch because I'm very bad at it. And we are going to raid someone. The one.
I'm raiding Janet Garcia already.
Perfect. I was going to say Janet Garcia, of course, if you didn't know, left IGN over the break. She today on January 4th has announced that she has her own Patreon. She's doing an independent thing. She hit her first milestone on Patreon, I think, of $500 is what she wanted. So she is celebrating right now with a live stream on twitch.tv/GameOn. I can never pronounce it.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I know. She knows it's bad. She always jokes it's bad. She'll be, of course, with us on Friday, Kind of Funny Games Daily in the Kind of Funny Spotlight. But for now, let's go Raider. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you.